Fuck that, man. Boxing is fucked up. No, I know a lot of men that was boxing and just getting punched up, like them journeymen.
Is there enough space for the wrong when he comes?
Yeah, it's wide enough. Actually, yeah, can you message him? Let him know to contact you. Right, shalom. First, I have to give all praises unto Yahweh, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to you brothers and sisters listening and learning and supporting the ministry. And you know, man, yeah, something that was on my spirit the other day, man. It's like, you know, I realized I was breaking it down analytically. And I realized that Christianity, right, is a fairy tale for adults. You know, it's a fairy tale. It's something that you tell yourself and it sounds nice, but you don't even need to live by it. It's just there like something to psychologically fall back on to make you feel better about the piece of shit that you are and the way you live your life in reality. Okay? And that's all it is. Like, that's why a lot of people fail to understand and accept the truths of this Bible, because you really got to be an adult. You really have to be mature to digest the harsh sayings that's in this book. Because if you look at Christianity, it's fairy tale like. Everything's fair. Yeah. Everything's fair. Oh, you want it to be fair. You want it to be equal. That's a fairy tale shit. That's shit that they raise the children on, but that's not the reality of the world though. But it's something you can fall back on and make yourself feel better that you believe that. But is it the reality of the world? No. Everybody's special. Everybody ain't special though. But that fairy tale is in their minds, man. So our job is to, you know, if the spirit will, to dispel that fairy tale and bring you into the realm of reality like an adult. Sometimes you gotta put, is that the brother? Sometimes you gotta put the Disney away and deal with real life. So for instance, like, they want to believe that God loves everyone. But that's a fairy tale, because we know that God does not love everyone. Or God is only love. No, but God isn't only love. God hates and he loves.
Yeah,
so we could get the scriptures to prove that.
You see you can get here, yeah?
But the average Christian, they can't even get past that hurdle because they want to believe in the fairy tale. Even though they themselves don't love everyone.
No worries, bro.
And the biggest proponents of Christianity, the so-called white man, who's the one who's promoting this, God loves everyone and you need to love everyone, he doesn't do that in reality. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are not the product of a people that conquered you in love in any way, shape, or form. But they still profess that ideology. Yeah. Because it's a fairy tale they could fall back on, that after they've done all the wickedness in the real world, they can sit back and go, well, God loves everyone and I love everyone. It's a fairy tale. It's a dream. Let's get the precepts on that God hates. You know?
This is the book of Romans 9 and 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Messiah according to the election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Right, not of works, but of him that calleth. So there's this fairy tale idea that you have to work for everything that you get, or you have to earn everything you get. And there's a place for that. There is a place for that. Okay? But that's not something which is universal in every situation, because there's also a place for something called privilege. Now, the average person out here, when they think of the idea of being privileged, it doesn't fit into their fairy tale notion of the world. Especially Jake. Jake don't like the idea of anyone being born into something. Oh, he was born into money, and they look down on you for that. Oh, he's got privilege. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's called inheritance. Inheriting a title, there's nothing wrong with that.
Is not the children of Jacob an inherited people that down from our forefathers, beginning with Abraham? Of course we are.
But they want to believe in this fairy tale that, oh, you should always earn everything that you receive. or everything you have, you need to work for it. But that's not the reality of life. Some things you need to work for, some things you don't work for. You receive it first and then you work with it. And that's the truth. And that example is shown in the Most High and how he created certain things for his purpose. And they're going to fulfill that purpose according to his election. So Jacob was made to be loved by the Most High. Jacob was literally made to be loved. There's nothing he did to deserve that. He was made that way. And Esau was made to be hated.
Can I get that in Deuteronomy 7:6?
Of course.
Alright, this is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love
above." Another fairy tale that they try and teach you in Christianity, that it's about equality. But it's not. The notion of equality is a fairy tale that doesn't exist anywhere on the planet Earth and never has. It's only existed in the minds of children and grown adults pretending to be children. I want to be equal. Equality doesn't exist. They can. It's one of those things that people spew as a virtue. Oh, I believe in equality, but you don't. You don't really believe in equality because you don't mind when you get favor, do you? It's just like these I was watching one of these podcasts and they were getting on these bitches, right? And the bitches are talking about how they believe in equality. It's like, okay, but when you go to a club and the guys say you could get in because you're good looking and these other girls can't get in,
You don't turn around and say
they
no.
gotta wait in the line. You don't turn around and say, well, no, I should wait in a line with the rest of them. You accept that favor and that privilege wholeheartedly.
Take advantage of that.
You take advantage of it, and everyone does. When you get an advantage or you get a favor, you don't turn away. Like if your brethren is the manager at a job, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna hire you. You don't say, well, hold on, wait, you know, it's got to be equal. You can't take into context that we're friends to hire me. Of course, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone wants it to be equal when it works against them. But when inequality works in their favor, then they're quick to accept it. Right? The whole notion of equality is a childish ideology, and Christianity preaches that, but the people who preach that don't practice it, because Esau really don't believe in equality. He believes in dominance and exacting his dominance over other people, which is the reality of the society that we live in. As much as they preach equality, do we live in an equal society? No. You got Prince Harry, you got Prince Charles, you got Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and they manipulate the world to do what? To remain on top and to subvert other people to remain at the bottom. They don't want everyone to be equals. All right? So you got to grow up.
Especially these people that don't believe in equality, man.
No.
Otherwise they'll share their great wealth and their great power with everybody, but they don't.
But they're the ones propagating these equality campaigns on the TV. It's bullshit. Men and women aren't equal. How can they be equal? There's order. That's just like a child and their parent is not equal. That's foolish. To make a child equal with their parents would be utter foolishness, wouldn't it? But you see, Christianity wants to propagate foolish ideologies, man. Foolish, childish, fairy tale type ideologies, which actually cannot work in real life.
I say it causes confusion.
Causes confusion.
And this is why this world is so messed up, because no one knows what the hell they're supposed to be doing, man.
So then you become a hypocrite. Because you could act that way, but you can't do it. Yeah? Go on. No?
Yep. Otherwise your child will be able to tell you what to do. Or you have to sort of sit down in the middle of a discussion and no, when you're the parent, right? You tell the child what to do. Well, that's logic, man, because the child needs to be trained.
Yep.
You can't allow a child to decide for themselves what they want to do, because they'll do the stupidest of things, man. You have to train them, so they have to be told. Just like anybody that's stupid needs to be told something. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone's got a right to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's foolishness, like.
Yep.
Do I have the right then to you know what I mean? Like, oh, because they believe it. all this is fairy tale. Go on.
Yeah, so yeah, it says, the Lord did not, verse 7, the Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you are more in number than any people, for you were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, right, there's that love, right? And because he will keep the oath, the promise that he made, right, which he has sworn unto your fathers, have the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Right, the oath, and the Lord takes oath and contracts very seriously, which is something this world doesn't take serious. Just look at marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it takes maturity to honor contracts.
Discipline.
Yeah, maturity and discipline, something that the people of this world lack, because they're always trying to find a way to renege some kind of emotion they want to do to renege on a contract that they made. But then you can't live in a world where everyone's reneging on contracts.
Yeah, to get out responsibilities and
duties.
Yeah, that's men and women. You know?
And that's Esau. That's how Esau operates.
Yep.
That's why you can't trust anything Esau says. Go on.
That was it on that.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Look at Romans 9 again and 11. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Most High according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth.
Him that what?
Chorus.
Chorus, man. So when we say that salvation is only for Israel, that aggravates the childish mentality of the average Christian, because they want to believe that salvation is universal for everyone, because they have a fairy tale version of life in their brain. When even in real life, there's hardly a thing in real life that is open to everyone. And life itself, just the very essence of life itself, excludes people. I'll give you an example, right? What's the chances of a guy that's a flipping midget, yeah? Or should I even, can I use that term? I can't use the term. A small person, right, making it to the NBA. He's born excluded, right? From birth. Like, there's a lot of sports, yeah, is genetics. Right? A lot of sports is like certain people have got fast twitch muscles. They're better at like sports that require that fast movement, that explosive movement. Then you got guys that are more stamina driven. They can do stamina sports. A lot of sports is down to genetics. Like, it's not a case of if every human being, every person works just as hard as everyone else, they'll all end up just the same baseline. You could take two people and have them work exactly the same. Same workout, same everything.
Workout, same diet.
What is going to come down? Same diet.
Same environment.
But you know what's not the same? Their genetics. Their ability to grow muscle, their ability to certain fast twitch fibers, their actual skeletal structure. They might have, some man have got longer arms, some man have got shorter, the same height, and the dude's got extra 2 inches on his arm span. So even life, even the natural way of life tells you that the Lord didn't even create every man equal, because if he created every man equal, we'd all literally be clones of each other and we'll all have the same capabilities, but we don't. I am not fucking LeBron James. He has his own set of genetics and that he's doing, or so, like Vince Carter and these guys have a specific genetics that fits what they were doing, and there's other guys that could never be like them, never a day in their life. That is just an example of how the Most High can pick and choose. That's a reality. It's not a fairy tale.
But you know, like bro was saying, you can witness these things in all creation, right? You take the trees for example, man. Some trees get more light than other trees, man.
Yep.
You know, they grow bigger than other trees. They produce bigger fruit than other trees, or better fruit than other trees. There's variations in everything.
They weren't all created equal, man. They weren't all created equal. But see, it's a fairy tale to believe that, you know, one tree it can have the same virtue as another, or have the same worth, or the same use. It's fairy tale. It's make believe. You'd like to believe that. You'd like to believe that every individual can be anything. Oh, you could be anything you want to be. Actually, no, that's not true.
Especially when you're down bad, isn't it? Especially when you're kind of like a loser. You feel like you could be anything, gives you hope, right?
But you can't.
Because that's why we tell these stories, to make ourselves feel better.
But you can't. That's a fairy tale.
You know, when you're not in a good situation, you do it to make yourself feel better, right? Oh, I can do anything, right? You want that pep talk, innit? But the truth is, I mean, not that you can't be nothing. You could be something, but don't mean you want to esteem, you know, exalt yourself to a level where other people are.
There's limitations, man. You get in where you fit in. That's how it is in life, man.
Go find your calling, man. Find your purpose.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. You get in where you fit in, and it's down to the Most High where you're gonna fit in and what you're gonna be capable of doing. Even
like you're saying though, if you're like, you know, you're 2'2", right? You can't tell yourself or will yourself to be NBA star. You know what I mean? You can't do that. It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. But it's all right to tell some fairy tale version, or you could, you could achieve anything. No, it doesn't work like that. Even down to intelligence, man. Even down to being a genius, man. That's inspiration is through the Most High. It's the Most High that inspires certain people to be on a level that they're on.
I say that 2'2" though might be good at fucking farming or something. You know what I mean? You just gotta find it. You just gotta find something, you know.
Crawling down holes. But even like I said, even that just shows you there's an aspect of you can teach a child that, but the reality of life will always come back to there are limitations, and the Most High created you that way. Women have limitations. Women have limitations. Men have their limitations. There's certain things that women can't do. It doesn't matter what they do, because of their structure. Like, women will never equal men in sports because of their fucking biology, man. They got less blood. Like, there's so many things that's built into a woman that make them what? What does the Bible say? The weaker vessel. You can't overturn that. They got less blood in their body. Their hips are set up differently. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's keep it going.
It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Right, the elder is going to serve the younger. That's basically Esau Edom being judged by the Most High to be a servant to his brother. But not just Esau Edom, his progeny. These Edomites were really made to be the servants of Jacob. And that was non-negotiable. That's the will of the Heavenly Father. Now, you could sit there and cry about it and be like, oh, why is it like this, or this, that, and the other. Or you can accept that that's the reality and deal with it. But Christianity is a doctrine where you don't have to deal with that reality. You can fall back on your own delusion and be like a child. Because you want to make yourself feel better. And that's really what it comes down to. When people hear the truth of the Bible, they have a feeling like, oh, I don't like the way that makes me feel, so I'm rather going to believe the lie rather than the truth. That's not the way an adult should carry themselves. Definitely not a man. A man should always be able to keep his mind firmly grounded in the realm of truth, in the realm of reality.
Can I get a couple presets?
Yeah, of course.
That's why sometimes they say, that's not my God.
Yeah. That ain't my God.
Because the truth is, man, at the end of the day, your God is your belly, man. It's whatever your version of whatever you want your deity to be that fits with your ideals, man. You know? Because in that scripture about your God is your belly, it's really talking about the seat of your thoughts, which is your mind. You know? Your God is who you want him to be. And that's not how the Most High works. God is who he is. I am that I am, right? He is what he is, right? You can't change the nature of the Most High to suit your needs.
Not any more than you can change the nature of the earth. Certain things is just how it is, man. You have to deal with it. And you know, if you start fucking around reality, the reality in the end is gonna turn around and bite you. No matter how much you believe it's one way, the truth is gonna come back and hit you hard in the face, man.
Reality.
Yeah, you can't drink motor oil and think it's fucking water. You can believe that. Oh yeah, you're gonna die. The repercussions of what you're doing is gonna come to you, because that's the reality, not the childish delusion.
Yep. Yeah, so this is from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 39. It says, all flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, another of birds. Right? So the Most High is making a statement. He makes things different, isn't it?
Are they not all God's creatures?
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Is a dog equal to a man? No, a dog is not equal to a man. That doesn't mean a dog. The Bible says that a man careth for his beasts. So we're not trying to be like, oh yeah, like, you know, you just walk around the world abusing everything. Because we don't promote abuse. We promote use. It's two different things. But man will slap a fly out like it's nothing, right? Is a fly not one of God's creatures? Man will slap a fly out like it's nothing. Man will kill a mouse like it's nothing, right? Does the law of the Bible apply to that mouse? Is it blood for blood? If you kill a mouse, should your blood be shed? Think about it now. Did not God create the mice? So how come we're not equal to mice? You see where the whole fairy tale breaks down? How come we're not equal to mice? We're not equal to mice because simply the Most High didn't create mouses to be equal to men. They have their own virtue and their own place within the order of creation. And all we're simply trying to say is that that goes also among men.
Yep.
Among men, the Lord has created different men to have their own order and their place, and he didn't create all men to be equal. Some men are meant to be the sons of the wicked, some are just the sons of men, ordinary dons, and then you get the sons of God who are of the highest stature and who are in an extremely privileged position that they didn't earn. It was simply given to them.
They were just chosen.
But what about the other nations? Well, what about the fly? Let's start making arguments. Well, why can't the fly sit on a throne in the kingdom of heaven? What's that movie? The fly, innit? Man turned into the fly.
Goldberg.
You know, why can't an octopus get a crown and sit on a throne in the kingdom of heaven and start flopping around? It sounds asinine, but it's the same principle. The reason is obviously to you because that doesn't apply to them.
You're trying to make yourself more than you are. You know? You people are trying to take a title or position that don't belong to you. You was never given a title or position to rule upon earth. You can't take which is not yours, that was not given to you. And that's simply what we're saying, man. We're the sons of God and we have that privilege, or we are going to be given that privilege. Okay, that is not, because everyone's got it, it's not a privilege anymore, right? Everyone's got it, right? But it's not open to the other nations. It's a privilege because it's onto a particular people. You know? And we just happen to be of that seed, that stock.
When you look up the word privilege, and it's just like noble people had privilege. There's nothing wrong with that. Privilege is not evil. I know Jake think it's evil because they've been down bad for so long and they've been on the wrong end of privilege. But really, Esau's ultimately on the wrong end of privilege.
But Jake like that term hating, innit?
Yeah, they're haters,
hating,
man.
Innit? You know, because they can't get privilege. Because they don't have privilege in this world. It's bad when you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? You feel bad about it, innit? You know? And you feel like everything, you know, is easier for them. Yeah, it is easier for them. But that's how it should be for us. Things should be easy for us.
The only reason it's not easy because we broke the law's statutes.
Do you think that you think we're supposed to be starting from ground zero every time one of us is born? That's a madness, bro. That's every time one of us is born, because we're born in with a curse, when we go in, when we go out. We're born with a curse, so we have to start from ground zero every time we're fucking born, man.
Struggling
the ends, you know what I'm saying? Trying to make ends meet and shit.
Yo, I can't get no.
Struggling with your parents and your brothers and you know people that you around you, man. You shouldn't be this way. You should be able to build. What's up?
I can't even my 4G's messed up. Can you look up the word privilege?
Yeah, what, in the Buddha or
in the definite, yeah. Like that's why we would say like privilege is can be a very righteous thing, and it is for us as Israelites. We're very privileged. When you're born an Israelite, you have an extreme privilege beyond all privilege. Jake complaining about white privilege. White privilege is vain. And I mean like the privileges that the Edomites enjoy at this moment in time is temporary privilege. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's their time to have that privilege. The children of the Rothschilds, they enjoying their privilege, and good for them. Oh, your daddy got money, and then now your daddy's buying you a car, and you could do this and da 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 da. Good for you. But our daddy owns the whole planet, and we're gonna inherit the planet.
All of existence.
So if you hating on privilege, then that means you gotta hate on yourself. I ain't gonna do that. Listen, you can have your privilege. My privilege is coming. Because my privilege is even greater than their privilege.
Yep. Yeah, so what privilege here, just a Google search, right? It says a right or immunity granted, well, the elect are immune from the judgment.
That was ordained from the beginning of the world, right?
That's that mark of exemption.
So they didn't earn that privilege because it's the grace, the election of grace, right?
Yep.
So the elect didn't earn the right to be the elect. That's a privilege. That's why you got to stay humble. That was a privilege that was awarded by the Most High. Now, the average person, they can't compute that because they've been programmed in this fairy tale that you have to earn this and earn that. Even though in the reality of the world, the majority of these men are not earning anything. They're getting picked.
What righteous virtues do they have?
Yeah, they're getting picked. A lot of these actors in Hollywood, a lot of them ain't even got no talent there. They're just there getting picked.
These are the wicked that prosper, right?
Yeah.
What do they earn?
Nothing, man. A lot of these men are getting picked. They get their industry plants. Like there was other men that worked a lot harder than them that didn't get the play. Why? Because they weren't picked. They weren't elected there. That can be the reality of the world a lot of times. That a lot of people have got things they never worked for. They got put into a position. Look at the royal family. The man go into the army and then they get royal titles, don't they? General this and general that and commander of this, commander of that. They didn't do 40 years in the army to become no damn commander. Prince Andrew and them man were commanding naval ships.
Just out of his status.
Just because they're awarded these titles, man. But that's all right because we rarely have the same privilege. Because to be called an Israelite is it's the greatest title there is among men, the sons of God, and that was awarded to us freely.
I have surnamed thee. Scripture say, right? The Lord put his blessing upon us, man. His name upon us. We're supposed to represent the Most High here upon earth, right? We are His children, so of course we're supposed to hold the highest position on the earth, beginning with our Lord Yahushua, because he's the one. Then
these guys want to pretend they care. But the thing is, like I said, when people are when it's your turn to receive some form of privilege, right, in the world, you don't question it. You don't question it, man. So why are you questioning the privilege that's awarded to Israel in the scriptures? All of a sudden it's a problem? Nah, to hell with that.
That's giving up on high.
Just be mature about it. Like, that's all we're asking. Just be mature. If you don't like that's the truth, okay. But don't try to twist the truth and
make it be something else.
You read it? Yeah.
This is a right or immunity granted as a peculiar benefit. Right, the Lord calls it peculiar people too, right?
We have a peculiar benefit because the Lord made a covenant with Abraham. And that's why I always go back to that covenant made with Abraham, because if you actually understand what that's really talking about, man, that is immensely like it's like, yeah, these people are gonna be kings.
It's unheard of.
They're gonna be kings. They're gonna be rulers. They're secure. These are my people, and I will be their God. You understand how much of a lottery win that was for our people? That's the only reason why the Lord sent his son to be a sacrifice for that people, because the Lord has made that oath so that people will be good. Despite all the mishaps and the ups and the downs, we gonna be up because the Lord already made that promise.
It's the ultimate blessing. It's the ultimate blessing, man. There's no blessing above that. When Jacob got blessed, that was it, man. There was no blessing, because even Esau cried about give me a blessing. Like, there was no blessing he could give him that beyond that.
He could do.
So he gave him some consolation prize thing, so he got his little time in rulership now, but he's lost out, man, big time. We got it. We got next, right? We got it. You know, we got the ultimate blessing, man. Nothing can overthrow that.
They can't be equal to us, man, and that's just how it is. They weren't made to be equal, in the spirit or in the flesh.
This is a peculiar benefit, advantage, or favor.
An advantage of favor. The Israelites have favor because the Israelites have sinned. Oh, Israelites be sinning. Esau is the man of sin. He be sinning. What's the difference? Why does not Esau have a savior? Why doesn't Esau have a scapegoat? Why can't there be a sacrifice for Esau? Why is there a sacrifice for Jacob? Why did the Lord send forth? What's that? It's Matthew 1:21, and he's why did he send the Messiah to save his people from their sins? Why didn't he send a Messiah for Elam? Why didn't he send a Messiah because he didn't. This whole ideology or for the whole world, you don't understand that. No, the Lord sent a Messiah for his people, because his people have that privilege of being delivered, of being redeemed.
I'm not sent unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
to fulfill his purpose towards that people, because his purpose towards the Israelites was to be blessed and exalted.
And what's it? Isaac told Esau, and he shall be blessed.
And he shall be blessed.
He shall be blessed. There's nothing that can be done about it. It's done.
The Lord said you can't do away with the Israelite, the seed of Israel. Now Esau, the Lord never made no, and that's a perfect contrast. When did the Lord say, "Oh, you can't do away with this"? I can't. If you can break the tabernacle with the sun and the moon, then will I?
Yeah.
Esau is gonna be done away with, and that alone should show you where's the equality there. Why does Jacob get redeemed? Why does Jacob get to sin? Think about it. Why does Jacob get to commit every sin? Because there's Jake out there that are pedophiles. There's Jake up there that are murderers. There's Jake out there that's adulterers. Every sin you could think of.
Even the scripture say the works of Jacob exceeded the works of
the
the wicked.
wicked.
Jacob done some atrocious shit out here, man. For real.
But they're still going to be redeemed. Even you're going to say the wicked 2/3. The wicked 2/3 are going to be redeemed ultimately, and they're going to be in the kingdom as the sons of God, because that's what they are. That's how what they were created to be. That is going to be their final position in their state.
They're going to be transformed into being that. Here they're wicked as hell, just like we're wicked, right? But we're going to be transformed into beings of righteousness that are worthy of such a title.
So why can't Esau be transformed?
Because he's not meant to be.
Because he's not meant to be. And that takes maturity.
He's the vessel of dishonor. Which I've got all here.
There you go. Like it takes maturity to not want to invent anything to run away from that. Just keep it 100 to what the scriptures is showing you. That there cannot be equality if the Lord himself has got two people, they've both done wickedness, and one gets to be redeemed and be saved and the other don't. One gets mercy, the other doesn't even get the opportunity.
Though you see,
he don't even need, the Lord didn't say, boy, if you could do this, I'll give you. The Lord didn't even lay down a gauntlet for him. He ain't gonna get no mercy, period, because it weren't for him.
Oh, yeah.
This is the book of Matthew 1:21. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call him his name Yahweh, for he shall save his people from their sin.
Right, he's gonna save his people.
Can I hold Romans 9?
Just tell him to walk down.
Are you going to meet him now?
Yeah, no, just tell him to walk down. He'll be alright. It's a straight road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell him to walk down and he can't miss us by the playground. Yeah? He's gonna save his people, man. And that's why we got to be grateful to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, because he's truly blessed us, man, and given us a great privilege.
You're going to see a bunch of cars, innit? So you want to turn towards that entrance, right? And just walk straight down. Okay. Yeah, you'll see a little playground in the middle here, innit? So you'll see us when you get to there, innit?
So book of Romans 9, I'm start from the top. I say the truth in Yahweh Shai Masha.
No, not from the top.
Continue where you was. Yeah. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. What's one of the fundamental delusional fairy tale ideologies that the hypocrites of Christianity profess? That God loves everyone. That feel-good message, oh, God loves everyone. But he don't. The Lord loves Jacob and he hates Esau. He hates the Edomites. Okay?
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Most High?
Is there unrighteousness with the Most High?
Most High forbid.
No, because it's not unrighteous. So you need to get your worldly fairy tale version of what's right and what's wrong and just throw that in the bin. Yeah, we're grown people now. We're not children. There's nothing wrong with that because the Lord created us for his purpose. And we do it every day. You make a shit pan, yeah? Then you make some a pan to hold your champagne. You put your ice. You don't use the same pan, do you? So you make one pan. You know, but you know, maybe that's more in the olden times. But man would have a piss pan because the toilets were outside. especially if you're in the UK and you got winter. Yeah, but they used to have that on the islands too, because the toilet would be outside. When I grew up, I remember when I used to stay in Fitz. When I was at the house in Fitz, man, bro, the toilet was the outhouse. There was no toilet inside. That particular house still had an outhouse. So you had to go out the yard, brother. You had to go out the yard to a like where's he at? You know, he's coming?
He's not here yet.
Oh, so what's going on? He just needs to follow the pin.
No, he's not here yet. He'll be here soon.
Oh. Yeah, like you gotta go outside the yard and then you gotta go to the outhouse. But you ain't doing that at night. There ain't no lamppost out there with no street light. So at night, man use the piss pan, the piddle thing. But you don't use the piddle pan, the same pan that you put your champagne, your ice in for your champagne, do you? You don't turn around and go, well, it's not fair. Like, how come I made this pan to be a piss pan and this pan over here is a champagne pan? Why can't the piss pan become a champagne? No one thinks like that. You make things to purpose. We do it every day. You got a rubbish truck. You don't see the rubbish truck loading up ice cream, and you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Things are made for purpose. You do it every day without thinking about it, and you put thing in a particular position. And if a man try and use a thing that's not right, you be like, ugh, like, what are you doing? You don't use that for that. You don't eat out of a toilet, do you? Like, man, just buy a toilet and then just start eating out of it. No, that's for shitting him, blood. If a man was doing that, you think he was crazy.
Hey man, you get cursed out in these posh circles for using the wrong spoon, blood.
Using the wrong spoon.
You know what I mean?
Well, men, we're like that because we also have a creator. And the Lord created everything for his purpose. Is it unrighteous then that you've got one vessel to carry feces in and one vessel to carry the ice for your champagne?
Something's gotta be. It has to exist, right? It has to fulfill that purpose.
So why are you bugging?
That's what it is.
Don't bug. The Lord created one vessel. We're going to read it. One vessel unto honor and one vessel unto dishonor.
Can I just read this quickly? This is from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. You Christians don't want to leave that mindset, man. You know? So I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things.
This childish ideology that anyone from anywhere can do anything. I mean, if the Most High wants to raise someone up and to do something, but again, it's the Most High that does that. But this ideology that everybody wants to be a king, so to speak. Everybody thinks they can go from being nothing to being something. But the reality of the world, and I was thinking about this the other day, you got people looking down on people saying, oh, you got a job, you're an employee. Like, yeah, like you need to go get yourself a business. Let me ask you a question. Can everybody have their own business? Okay. Just think about it. Like, let's not be all fucking ideological and fairy tale in our mind.
You need workers, man. You need somebody in every position in society, man. You need the plumber, man.
Bro, you're too mature. You're being too mature. No, everyone can be a king. And everybody can be a princess. Yeah. Everybody could be a CEO. Everyone just a world full of CEOs. Everyone's a CEO. Make it make sense. The reality is there's always gonna be an order. That's never gonna change. This ideology of equality cannot exist. Because the same man that's saying all this wants people that work for him. Well, how are you going to have people working for you if you want everyone, you're shaming everyone into being, how does that work? Everybody can't be a king and somebody got to serve somebody.
And this is the problem in society tonight. There's not enough of certain people like farmers and things like that.
Yeah, nobody want to do that.
That's low living. The man work too hard.
Everybody ain't gonna live luxurious.
Exactly.
Everybody ain't gonna live luxurious. That's the mature mentality of understanding that not everyone can live luxurious.
Yeah.
Now, Esau's world is wicked, where it's highly skewed towards being down and out, and that's not saying that's right. But even in our world, what you think everyone's gonna be living luxurious? How could that be possible? No, there's the super rich and all that, and they're still going to be stratas of society. It's just the man's at the bottom in our world will be a lot better than they are in this world, because Esau's just an asshole. But there's still going to be order, and there's still going to be positions. And if you're down there at the bottom, it's highly fucking unlikely you're ever going to be at the top. In fact, no, you're never going to be at the top, because who's going to be at the top? Forever. the Israelites. And is there anything these heathens can do, possibly do, to
Israel.
be on that level that we're gonna on? No.
The closest you're gonna get to that is man's servant.
Right? The heathen are gonna have their own royal families. And they're gonna be born, they're gonna have their own kings born into that lineage. Not everyone can be king, but you see, they want it, oh, everyone can, if we vote, if you work hard, if you do this, then you could be king too. It don't work like that.
Do you want to speak it,
Believe it, receive it, and all that bullshit. No, some men are just gonna be sheep herders, and they're gonna be sheep herders for the rest of their generations, because that's what the Most High set up for them to be. Just because you need sheep herders,
and that's what they're most skilled at.
And that's what they're most skilled at.
You know?
And that's their virtue, that's their value, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But in today, you know, you might come up from a long fine line of, you know, coppersmiths or something like that, you know.
You're hating.
And you know, you're in this generation now. You're looking at your dad. Oh, he's a waste man.
Yeah, man, it's disrespectful.
Because he only runs a copper store or whatever, and he's working for people and whatever. And you want to be something else. Now you just fuck up the whole.
You want to be a YouTuber.
Yeah. You want to fuck up the whole line of expertise that your dad and you know his dad, you know, granddaddy and daddy built up, just so you can become some sort of fucking playboy in London somewhere.
Yeah, everybody wants to be the socialite, but imagine if the world was full of only socialites. You wouldn't have nothing with you, because who's gonna do the real shit that he's doing? So that's why you can't have a fairy tale version of the world in your mind. The reality is there's always gonna be stratas, and there's always gonna be people that's on different levels, and they're gonna have a value that's different to everyone else. And some things people are gonna be born into, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Adult mentality, not childish wokeism, fake world mentality, yeah? Communism or some shit. Go on out.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness which Most High forbid? For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
The Lord will have mercy on who he's gonna have mercy. Go on.
And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
That's right, meaning the Lord chooses who he's gonna have compassion on and who he ain't gonna have compassion on. Now they want it to be everyone, but we know according to the Bible it's not everyone. The Lord's gonna have compassion firstly on Israel through the elect. He ain't having no compassion on the heathen and Esau, because they're not a part of the sacrifice. The Lord never made a sacrifice for their sins and their transgressions. They are going to pay in full. Hence why it tells you in all the prophecies that they're going into every one of them shall go into captivity. Why? Because they're going to be punished. As they drunk on my holy mountain, so shall they drink.
And this is the thing as well. The Most High never made no promise to these other nations, man. He ain't promised you nothing. Promise you a damn thing, man.
Promising destruction.
You know?
Yeah, man.
You know, hold on a second, so like, I'm going off. But he made the covenant they wouldn't flood the earth again. That's a whole mankind thing, right?
But you know what it is? It's because, especially Jake, yeah, especially our people, because they were down bad for so long, they've been programmed to desire equality.
Yeah.
Because the white man didn't let me use his bus. Because everybody should be able to use.
Because that's a level up for you. You know, that's going up in the world for you. Equality is going up. But you're meant to already be up here.
I want to use that water spout.
I know what.
I want to use, and that's that. And then so you want to be equal and involved in everything. I want to use that toilet, and so your whole mindset is based upon equality, man.
It's like stick round now, because we're talking about what it is. Like you guys want a fucking piece of it, man. You want to try and get on it now, but it's not for you.
Fuck them.
You know.
And if they don't want you to use their toilet, don't use it fine. You get your own toilet, man. It's a sickness that our people have, the desire to be equal, or the desire to partake in something that someone else has, man. It's a sickness, man. Oh, you want a black Little Mermaid? Why you want a black Little Mermaid for?
Your own team.
What the fuck you need that for? So that she can walk around lusting after the white man.
Precept.
Go on,
it's Jeremiah 2 verse 33.
You know what fucking mermaid are you, man?
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones the ways.
Yeah, you wanna be part of this man so much you sell your own self short, like just to be equal with this guy, cause that's what you desire. Nah, we don't want to be equal with no one. We want what the Lord has ordained for us.
Yep.
And that's
What's
what you should
ours.
desire, what the Lord has ordained, because it's not you, it's really the Lord. So just like the land of Israel was ordained for us, we're not asking for no more than what the Lord has bestowed upon us. And that's the righteousness of the scriptures. Every people have been given their own inheritance. And you shouldn't want more than what the Lord has given you.
Be content.
But there's nothing wrong with desiring what the Lord has said is rightfully yours.
That's right. That's right.
I don't want equality, I just want what's mine.
Take this
I'm on the streets of New York. Hey, go.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra 6:54.
Legendary.
And after this, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
Now hold on, who voted that, man? Did all the lion, like it's the Lion King, man came? Who voted that Adam should be Lord of all the Lord's creatures? Let's talk about it.
Did even Adam choose himself to do that?
He didn't
No,
choose himself.
He didn't do that.
Isn't that discriminatory against the lions, man? Why ain't the lion the
And they were here before him.
the king of the jungle, apparently? But you know,
Adam wasn't even the first one to
lions
see,
don't
man.
live in jungles, but it's just the Esau and his fairy tales, isn't it? The lions live in the savannah, you know what I mean? They don't live in jungle. The tiger is the king of the jungle, but the big bomber Clark cat, tiger serious. But the point of the matter is like who made, where was the voting there? Nah, the Lord ordained that Adam was the Lord over all of the creatures. No one has a problem with that. But then when you start talking about the Israelites are Lord over all the nations, all of a sudden is a problem.
Yeah. Because you're trying to make yourself equal to the Israelites.
But I
man.
thought you believed in animal rights. Good.
Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Right, because through the process of time, we know that all nations are descended from Adam. Because you had Noah. Noah was of the seed of Adam. And then through Noah and his 3 sons came all the different variations and nations of people that we have, that the Lord himself have separated, pursuant to Deuteronomy 32:8, and given each nation their particular spirit, vibration, because all nations have a different vibration and spirit.
So
All nations have a different vibration and spirit. And he gave them different inheritances that is theirs. They have their inheritance in the land. And he gave Israel an inheritance, but a part of our inheritance is actually rulership as well. We receive the inheritance of royalty. Okay?
Can I show you something quickly? I got this Sirach chapter 32 verse 9, right? This is not strictly applying to this situation, but I thought it's funny, man. It says, if thou be among great men, make not thyself equal with them. Right? So there's obviously stratas in everything, right? But you heathen are below the Israelites, man. That's the strata. That's where you at. And to make yourself equal to them, to think that you can somehow usurp and take what's not yours, to take what's theirs. That's hubris, man.
And that's why the whole world is out of order. Because you got heathens thinking that they're on the level with Jake. That's why they come up, brothers are teaching, they come up and start running their mouth. In the kingdom of heaven, that's not going to happen. Them men are going to come with respect that's due to the authority. Yeah, they're going to come with the proper respect, yeah? And the same thing in this society, these women actually think they're equal to, if not better than men. And that's out of order. I don't care if you don't like it. Women are not equal to men. They're not equal in reality, and it sure as hell ain't equal when it comes to the scriptures, which is reality. This place is out of order, man. It's out of order. But it's because of these fairy tales, and Christianity is pushing these fairy tales, man. They don't want to deal with the nastiness of the scriptures. You know, or the reality of life. Life can be harsh, you know. You ever see them animal programs, blood? Fucking wildebeest getting ripped open by fucking eaten alive by ass first by a pack of fucking wild hyenas, man. Life is raw, man. You watch them programs, bugs eating other bugs whole. Man's just flying, doing his own thing. Fucking frog just come.
Men's history's raw. Men's history, you know, our people is raw.
Rawness, man.
You know, the Lord is a man of war, and there's nothing but fighting going on this planet, man. And the strong, the more privileged, the one that the Most High put in position is one that gets what they're given. You know, and you know, whoever don't get got. You know, it's been like that. But the Lord's gonna put things in a stable place in the kingdom, man, by having the righteous in rulership. You know, and everything's gonna be set in order. Whereas it's kind of like a wild west.
Somebody's got to rule.
You know,
and that's another thing we were talking about with Star Wars earlier. The Empire and the you know, what was it called? The Resistance and all that. But the Resistance wanted to rule too. Let's not fucking play, like. But this is all this democracy bullshit. You wanted to rule too. You know what I'm saying? We gonna rule too, and there's gonna be servants and slaves in our kingdom too, just like there were servants and slaves in this kingdom. Just that our kingdom is gonna be a righteous rulership. Everything's in its rightful order. Like, we gonna rule the world, and one dick. Remember that dickhead said we're gonna be equal to everyone, and we're gonna serve the other nations.
Yeah. That's not what he says here.
What's wrong with this guy, man? But you see,
kings and queens should come bending knee, bro. Like,
there you go. But you see why he's saying that? Because he's a Disneyland kid. He's trying to still establish that Disneyland childish mentality in the scriptures so far that even though he knows the scriptures say they're going to be servants and we're going to rule them with rods of iron, he's still trying to make it into Aladdin and fucking, you know what I'm saying? He's still trying to make it Disney. Happily ever after for everyone kind of thing. A whole new world. You know?
The overwitness mentality.
Yeah, man, they're just trying to, you know, bust out with the Disney music.
And that's part of that Babylon juice, man.
Yeah,
that's
man.
part of that Babylon juice.
Shit, like everyone ain't gonna get the same outcome. Goodness gracious. Go on, right?
Second Ezra 6:55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
The Lord made the world for the sake of the Israelites. We are the stars of the show. We're the main. And that's just like, again, there's reality, right? You go to a show. A man makes a show, right? So let's say ballet or some dance production. Don't you know they got a star dancer? Most shows have a star dancer. That's the girl that they're putting, she's front and center, or the guy, they're front and center on the poster, and their name will actually be in it. So yeah, there's a bunch of other good dancers in the production, but they'll be like starring her, whatever the fuck her name is, right? And the show's being sold of her, they're or him, and they're gonna be the main attraction and the star of that show. And the guy who made the show writ the choreography and everything specifically to surround that one person. That if they weren't there, there is no show. That person has to be there.
It's like boxing, there's the main events and
you got the main event, man. They're on a billboard. You don't put the fucking undercard dons on a billboard. Most of the time, I don't even know who's on the undercard. And their names are in little tiny little writing at the bottom. Like, most man don't even tune into the undercard. The first one on the show, no one even know who they are. Yep. What's the name of it? Nobody knows. Yeah, if AJ and Wilder are fighting, that's all you're gonna see big on the poster. Anthony Joshua.
That's why you're tuning in.
Wilder. Yeah, isn't that just the reality of life? Well, guess what? In this creation that the Lord created, Israel. Yeah, right, in big letters. And the rest of the production wouldn't exist without us, man. The world was made for our sakes. We are the focus of the Most High and His plan. And if we didn't exist, there would be no need for anything else. That's what you need to understand. Just like with men and women. The woman was created for the man and not the man for the woman. So if men didn't exist, there would be no need for women. Men were created and women were created for men. These other nations were created. Well, why did the God create the other nations then? Comparison, for one. Because the world always needs a comparison. You can't have beauty without ugly. It just don't work. You need something to compare it to be like, yeah, that's beautiful. Like when you see a girl with that flat back, no body shape, built like a Vauxhall Caddy, then you know when you see that real bad thing that's got the Lamborghini design, you know that that's a bad one right there. You understand? Hot and cold. Two and two created against another. So that's one of the reasons why you got the other nations, because you need variety, you need comparison in order for something to be exalted. You can't exalt something if another thing isn't down. Do you understand? It doesn't work.
Oh, I had that here.
How do you know Michael Jordan or all these other basketballers are great players? Because you got substandard players
That make him look
that,
good.
that make them look good. That's why you got men's football and women's football.
But there's another thing we stated as well, man. If Israel are going to be kings, who are we ruling over?
You gotta have servants.
Who's working for us?
What's the point of it? There is no kings.
Are we just doing things ourselves? Like, are we going to hire each other? No, that's what you heathen are here for.
They're created to serve.
Mm-hmm.
So if their existence is to serve and to be the under, if you don't have the over, there's no need for the under. If you understand, so they were created, they were also created as part of this creation to supplement us, and that's what they don't understand. That's why the Lord said, listen, if you can break the covenant with the sun and the moon, then I'll do away with Israel. The only reason the sun rises every day is because of the nation of Israel is here, and the Lord has his purpose concerning Israel. The whole Bible is centered around who? Israel. So when you talk about humans, you talk about the Homo sapiens, and you talk about people, and the Bible is the book of humans. Who's the human story really all about? Who's it centered around? Well, we were talking about early. You watch Star Wars, the real Star Wars, you know, the original trilogy. Yeah, Luke, innit? It's following Luke. Simple. It's not about random freaking characters that you see in the background drinking liquor in a bar somewhere that ain't even got a name, just generic. They don't even get put into the cast.
Bar drinker 1, bar
drinker 1 and bar drinker 2. You know, random what's it called? What them guys called with the clone death? What do they call it again? Yeah, random stormtrooper 1, stormtrooper 2. It's not about them. Just like it's not about Elam, it's not about Esau. They're just parts in this thing. It's all about the nation of Israel from beginning to end.
Can I read this?
Yeah, go on.
This is from Sirach chapter 33. I'm going to start from verse 7. It says, why doth one day excel another? Now, this is the Most High going through a bunch of things. He just created different because the Most High wanted it different, right?
Every day ain't the same.
Yep. So when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun, right? The sun lights every day of the year though. Why is it different? Right? By the knowledge of the Lord, they were distinguished. And the Lord distinguished a people, right? Out of other people, out of other nations. That's why we read Deuteronomy 7 verse 6 earlier. He chose us to be a holy people unto himself, man.
Hey, all days ain't created equal, because you see them other camps, they only want to come out when it's like this.
Yeah.
They only want to come out when it's like this, man. When it gets cold and when they're out here and you can't feel your toes. But it makes you appreciate these days. Like, yo, it's a nice day today. I can feel my toes. I can wiggle them. It's cool.
Warmth for the sun. I was even thinking about the other day, man. Down the sun's out and like, just to feel the warmth, man. It's a blessing, man. Yeah. It's a perfect creation the Lord has done, man. You get to appreciate these types of things, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, you feel so much better when the sun's out, the sky is blue, and all that kind of stuff. But they're
every day ain't the same.
Great things.
And even down to I think it's gonna go into the holy days.
Yeah.
There's holy days, man. It's not the same.
Yep. It says, by the knowledge of the Lord they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them he have made high days, and hallowed them, made them holy.
Right, like the Sabbath, the Day of Atonement. These are specific dates within the calendar that are different to every other day. Every day isn't even equal.
Even the length of time in the day is
not even
daylight in the
equal
day. You know, in the winter time there's lack of sun, right? So it gets dark quick. You know, it's dark for most of the time.
You get rainy days, dry days, humid days. Days are different out here.
Yep. So some of them he have made high days and hallowed them, and some of them he have made ordinary days.
Ordinary day, man.
He was just ordinary people. Because the reality is, we're sons of God. And the scripture tells you, ye are gods. We're not even just people. We're just normal, like, you know what I'm saying?
Where's this prophet at? Where was he?
He was at Romford, didn't he? He was waiting for us to come down here. So
Is he using Google Maps?
I don't know what he's using, but he's got to Romford.
I sent him the link
He got
on Google
Romford
Maps.
Market, and now he's in another bus.
Why did he get off at Rubber Market?
I don't know. Maybe that's the
No,
bus
he
stop.
should-
He's got bus stop.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know.
There you go.
BB is shortly. Yeah, back on here, it says, so something made ordinary days, right? In verse 10, it said, all men are from the ground, right?
Yeah,
Adam-
we're all made from the same in base ingredients. But what does the Bible mean when it means we're all made from the ground? See, them Esau will try and make mockery. They believe that God just took earth. He just took, no, bro. We are made from the ground, right? Because the ground has all the basic elements that make up the human body is what you find in the ground. Yeah? They try to make it sound dumb. Oh, see, the Bible said we're made from the ground. That's not scientific. Actually, it is.
But I'm saying, but this most time makes these points, man, because that's why the analogy of the clay, right? Because clay is off the ground, right?
And it makes all these different things.
Yeah.
Because everything we see growing around us is made from the same elements.
Yeah.
We're made from the same thing as this grass. This grass is made from the same elements. Carbon, magnesium.
But you still can tell you know, relate to bananas and shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it up.
Does not the grass come from the ground?
Yeah,
And we
everything's
eat the
from
grass, which comes from the ground. We're made of the same stuff. Now, originally, when the Lord made the first people, he put them together using the elements that were in the ground. But now, when we reproduce, we don't reproduce by taking up the elements from the ground directly. We actually eat the elements from the ground by eating other animals and plants which came from the ground and break it down within our body into those base elements, or, well, really not base elements. We break it down into like compounds which are made from those base elements, because we break down proteins and fats and all these different things which are made up of these things, and then we build ourselves. So the Bible is completely accurate. We are made from the same elements which are in the ground. But even though all these different people are made of the same ingredients, we're different, man, because the Lord separated us, man, in the spirit.
Yep. So then all men are from the ground, because, you know, he's still like, so we all bleed red. Well, he don't always say that. He don't always say that, but he's trying to make it like we're all the same. We ain't all the same. You know, just because we bleed the same color and all this kind
Which
of
again, that's the fairy tale thing.
Yeah.
Because he don't act
believe
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
The reality of his world is we're not all the same, because he believes in so-called white supremacy.
That's right. Yeah.
And evolution, which according to the theory of evolution, so-called white people are more evolved than anyone else. That's a fact.
And that's why they did it.
Yeah, because that's why they tell you monkeys that, oh yeah, like, yeah, the oldest. Think about what they're telling you when they're teaching your children in school. They tell you that animals evolve, right? And animals evolve from a lesser form to a more evolved form.
Yep.
Correct, right? Because they're adapting, yeah? Then they come and tell your children, oh yeah, Africa, everybody's from Africa, and the first people were from Africa. And then they left Africa and became them. So what are they fucking telling you? What are they teaching your children in school? They're teaching your children in school that the so-called white man is a more evolved form of human being, which makes him superior.
That's why he's in rulership.
Which is why he's in rulership.
That's not why.
So evolution is nothing more than so-called white supremacy masked as science, and they teach it to your children in school and tell your children that basically you are more closely related to apes than what so-called white people are. That's what they're teaching you. And men's are like, yeah, like, that's cool. Yeah? So they don't really believe it, but they'll still proliferate that fairy tale in people's minds. Damn, I should have took my aim.
Go on. So all men are made from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. In much knowledge, the Lord have divided them. Divided men. Why did he divide them? The Lord never wanted people together to be all the same. He divided them, right?
The Lord always had a problem when we started not putting boundaries. That's why he said, listen, don't be, you can have concubines, and again, that's a concubine is a lesser wife. Your concubine is still your woman, but it's not an Israelite woman.
She lacks privileges.
She lacks the privileges because she's not of your people. So you got to keep her in a particular position. Like usually when you got a concubine, she would be grind meal. Now if you was poor and you only had one wife, your wife would grind the meal. But as soon as you got a concubine or a servant,
Your wife didn't have to do that.
your wife didn't have to do that. She would start grinding the meal. And that's why the Bible says in That's Hebrew culture to the Babylon. Sit down in the dust, grind the meal, or something like that. We read, cause that grinding the meal was really the position of a lesser woman. High society women didn't wake up at 4 in the morning to grind meal. You know what I mean? Like, that's something you do if you're poor and you ain't got no one else to do it, right? There's a difference. And then when we started coming together and joining ourselves into these nations and becoming mixed, the Lord was like, hell no, you're not meant to be doing that. We're not all one people. We're supposed to be separate. Separate inheritance, separate, you know?
You're getting too involved, man.
We're in the Tower of Babel. When people coming together.
To be one.
Yeah, to be one must say, well, come in, put the confusion.
And divided them into their own nations. Even the tribes were allotted, they weren't allotted their inheritance willy-nilly amongst each other. Like you go one place and there's just Judah here, there's Issachar across the road. Bro, the tribes dwelt in among themselves. Areas, they were like their own nations unto themselves. They had their own boundaries. That's why you had to have a law of the stranger, the law of the sojourner. Because if you was a Judah and you went into Gad, you was in a different place, my brother. You don't have no rights in that place in terms of no inherited rights. You don't own no land there. You a visitor. But the law says you got to treat that visitor the same as one that is born in the land. That's why we had the laws of the stranger, because you could literally live among Benjamin and never see a Gadite, ever. Unless they come through your village, because it ain't like now today where man have got like rail network and people are flying out. Most people stayed in their village, man. And who was going to be in your village more than likely? Like 99% your own tribe, your own clan. Unless some troops came rolling through and you saw a Gadite, or you went down to Jerusalem and that's where you would see the other tribes congregating and passing through. Or a man might come to work as a sojourner or a merchant, then you see other people. But in terms of the people who's actually living, it was your clan. So you was around Benjamin, or if you was a Issacharite, you are around nothing but Issacharites, because that's the people that are in your inheritance. So even among the tribes, the Lord gave us all folds. That's why the scriptures talk about we shall be placed back into our folds. It's not like now where you're in fucking LA and you're here, you own a house here, supposedly own the house. You're a Judite, and across the road there's an Issacharite over there that owns another house, and then over there there's a Benjaminite, and all these different tribes and clans mixed together in this area. It wasn't like that in the ancient world.
Your borderlands was like the pen. You know, the borders, that's where you was, that's where you were at. The different folds who had their different allotted lands, man.
And it's gonna go back to that. So when we go back in the kingdom, it's gonna be like that again. Your immediate area is really gonna be your own tribe, your own clan. The land of Benjamin, the land of Judah, the land, and we have our own inheritance, and then we mix, because obviously you don't wanna shoot off and par and visit and do business and do whatever you're doing. No one ain't saying you didn't mingle like that, but in terms of your living situation, you're mainly around your own tribe or your own clan.
As I said, the term sojourner is temporary, really. You know, you're there for a lot amount of time, and you know you go back to wherever, innit? But you know, that's how things work. But back here, Sirach 33.
Hey, my road is a mix-up. My road got
everywhere, innit?
Got like fucking like different type of Edomites, different type of Elam, and they live. It's almost like they try and buy houses next to each other. So you get like a row of Elamites, then you get a couple. My row has got like a couple gypsy man there. Then you got like a couple Af man, like Jake, but they're Af man. Then you got like another Af man there, and you got some Edomite sprinkled here. Edomite there, my yard, Edomite there. And then over there, so I see there's a couple Jake over there, but then over there, so there's some Edom. So it's just
there's no cohesion.
Yeah, it's just bare. Whereas in the ancient world, it would have just been just your own man.
Your cousin there.
Hey, but that's how we lived in Montserrat. In Montserrat, when I was living in Montserrat, my uncle lived there, my auntie lived there, I lived here, right? And then you got other family groups, but they were closely related. Then if I go Carkill, that's all my mom's side of the family. They're all, but then you got the Browns, but the Browns are related to the KBs as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was, man. More like the ancient world, but like these places here, it's just people buy houses anywhere.
Well, it's set up to divide.
It's all confusion, melting
And that's
pot.
why I said they should not cleave together with the seed of men. Don't cleave together in these places, man.
It's a melting pot, man. That's what it is. It's an actual melting pot. But yeah, let's carry on. That's a good point.
Different ingredients. But yeah, back in Sirach chapter 33 verse 12. Let me read 11 again. It said, in much noise the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse.
Right, people are supposed to be different. And even in the kingdom of heaven, everybody don't have to be the same. I think people get this ideology that like, because you got the law makes everybody the same. So everybody becomes a robot of everyone else. So this brother's just gonna be just like me. And this brother's gonna be just like me. Gonna be like MIB clones. Like, you know what I mean? We're gonna be like the Clone Wars. Everyone's gonna be no. You can still have variation of food and dress style, right? But still be similar. So it's like, you see the IUIC, right? They wear uniforms. This is actually a perfect example of that. You go into the history of uniforms, right? That really started with the Romans, right? They had a one issue, kind of like an issue of uniform that the soldiers were wearing that was exactly the same. So same cloak, same armor, same this, and then that same everything, same sword, government issue, right? And then that kind of went down into the British Empire, the red coats. They got the same coat, you get the issue. The Napoleon, everyone's got the same uniform. The further you go back in history, it wasn't like that. People used to turn up to war, but they were identifiable because of a particular custom that they shared, that they necessarily didn't have the same clothes on. So let's take, for instance, the Israelites. What would you say would be a clue as to you're an Israelite?
Fringes.
The fringes. So you'd imagine they were coming together for war now. You're gonna get different clans coming together. What would make them look similar is that clan might have a certain thing that they do. So they might have a certain color that they prefer to wear. But they got the fringes.
So kind of easy to produce over there where they are.
Easy to produce, or a style that they fucking like.
Yeah.
That's the style that they like. And then you might get the Benjamites come over, they wear their thing a bit different, but how do you know we're all Israelites? Tribe. So when you see the war dog them together, it wasn't like every man was wearing the same uniform. You just know that's the Israelite army because every man's got their fringes on. But they got their own armor, man, turn up how they want to turn up, man. And that's how it's supposed to be. And guess who still does that? Great Millstone. See, this brother got his garment, I got my garment. The brother got the bad boy copying the Latin tribe garment, but I forgive him. Yeah, no, it's a bad garment still. Yeah, and that's how it's gonna be. So you can have variation within the law, just like you can have fried chicken, you can have baked chicken, you can have like boiled chicken on season. Nah, you can't have that. Nah. Yeah, but the chicken is lawful. You understand what I'm saying? So even in the kingdom, the different brothers are gonna roll different. They're gonna build their house different. They're gonna have certain things within their household that they do.
And this thing that we're taught in the scriptures, the law promotes that there's liberty within the law.
Yeah.
Right? The law is not so restrictive that you can't do anything, but it has to be in the confines.
It has to be within the confines of the law, man.
And that's why where there's no law, there's no sin. Right?
Some brothers argue over dumb shit, man.
You know,
and it ain't even nothing to do with the law. Oh, brother, I wouldn't do that, brother. Let this brother do what he want to do, and that's why we always say you get. Let's say a man say he want to have 10 wives, right? And another man say he want to have 100. I don't give a fuck. As long as he ain't got no husband's blood, I don't get it. You see what I'm saying? Why am I gonna argue with this? Oh, brother, no, brother. You gonna have 100 wives like me? Why am I up, bro? If you want to have 10 wives, I don't give a fuck, bro. You do what you want to fucking do. I ain't in the kingdom like trying to tell you how many wives you should have, or how many sheep you've had, or how many rooms you should have in your house. How the hell is that my business? Where is it in the law? Within the confines of the law, you could do what you want to do. You want to drink lemonade? Drink lemonade. I don't give a fuck, man. You are, brother. Nah, brother. I drink the rum. Drink the rum. I don't give a fuck if you want. If you prefer the law, these are things that we shouldn't even be arguing about. The only thing we should have a point of contention in is the things concerning the law. Those are the things that's gonna be like universal. But even in the kingdom of heaven, the Israelites, we're gonna have variety, man. The different tribes are gonna have their variety. The different clans are gonna have their variety. Families are gonna have a variety. You're like, oh yeah, you see your brother. Oh, he one of them. You know, them clans over there. Look at the way that brother dressed. Look at that's their style.
And you can see that among Jake anyway, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, every Jake, like, we're all Jake, but we got different ways about us.
They got different styles,
you
man.
Know? You know, Gadites, man, they wear the crown of feathers, man, and do the powwow dances and all that kind of stuff, man. They do what they're doing, man.
There's nothing wrong with that. And then so same thing with the other heathens. The heathens are gonna have their style. It's just that it's not gonna be like wicked. We're not gonna allow them to do wickedness, but they're still gonna have they can have the way they want to dress.
You know, certain dishes that they make.
They can have their dishes the way they want to make it. I'm not gonna tell them nothing. That's your business, as long as it's not in an unlawful manner.
Yep.
Right? So the Lord did that. He created diverse ways, man. Man could dance this way, the man could dance that way. Like, you feel me? Everyone ain't gonna be a clone. Robot. Everyone's doing things the same way.
Some man into salsa merengue, and you know. Some man into hip hop, you know.
Someone like that rock music, man.
Yeah, some like that rock music. You know, it's just it. You know?
You can have your own personality, man. Like brothers in camps have different personalities. It's nothing. That's good to have different personalities. Not just everyone to be fucking a clone. Everyone wants to copy how someone else is.
Yeah.
Like to their personality. Some brothers is different. And some brothers you prefer to be around more than other brothers. That's just how it's gonna be, because this brother might be a bit more the way you are, or the way we like do things, and another brother ain't.
That's not common.
Yeah, that's not evil. Oh, brother, no, you got to like playing chess like me, brother. Nah, brother, I don't want to play chess, brother. I want to knock some dominoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, some man get too amped up, and they try and put their own personal things on other brothers. Nah, man. In the kingdom, we're gonna be free within the law to do things diversely, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard there was a thing about cooking. So listen, I'm gonna be cooking in the kingdom, brother, if I fucking want to. You brother knows I love to cook, but I'll be the head chef out here, blood. Head chef. Because I love to manage that kitchen. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. You know, if I feel like it, but I won't have to. But if I feel like it, why not? Why the fuck can't I do what I want to do? Where's the slavery?
It's not. This world was made for our sakes, right?
Yeah.
So come on, we'll enjoy doing the cooking.
Hey, this brother know I love to whip up something good for the brothers, man. And why not? Some brother might say, no, I'm never gonna cook. But
I don't stop the brother from cooking. I just want that good food, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Listen, man. Hey, look, I'm a Benjamite, man. Benjamite be cooking, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we be doing a good job, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you like doing that, and it's not unlawful, is it?
Yeah, man's got their hobbies and things they like doing, man.
Yeah, that's it, man.
You know?
Want to paint? Fucking paint. You know. But anyway, that's just the point. Go on.
Yeah, so right 33 and 12. So some of them he have blessed.
I wanted to make this point. It's just like the whole thing to do with the flower of her age thing. Man's get all bent out of shape. Oh, I don't want my daughter getting married at 12. Then don't. Then don't, bro.
Just to keep her in straightly. Do that.
Then don't. Then don't. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Bro, that's your choice, and that's your daughter, fam. As long as we're keeping the law, it doesn't matter. This is what men need to understand. Stop trying to put your personal things on other people when it's not necessary.
If you want to keep it till she's 40,
that's your business. It's not my daughter, man. I don't give a fuck. Yeah? But these guys, you know, they try and make everything based upon we're trying to force something on them. There's nothing to do with forcing anyone to do anything at any time.
That's what they call it a cult. They're just forcing indoctrination.
We're not trying to force no one to do nothing. You don't have to do, you know what I mean? Shit. No one ain't forcing you to take a wife even, bro. It's your business, man. I don't fuck. Listen, bro. I'll take my wife. You want to sit there and do nothing? That's your business, bro. You want to... Go on, man.
Alright, he made it sound like he did.
Bro, there's no way I gave him a specific...
I know, but I told you though, innit?
Anyway, after you read that, give him a call.
Okay.
I gave him the Google Maps.
All men are created of the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. In much knowledge, the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them he have blessed and exalted, right? So not everybody's blessed and exalted. That's the differentiation right there.
Yeah, like David. David is gonna be the overlord over all Israel, and that's no one can't be David. Even though certain man want to be David, What am I meant to do? Oh, if I can't be David, I don't want to be nothing. Right, that's how men act like. Yo, it is what it is, bro. Yeah. Everybody can't be
top dog.
The top dog. And when you got that kind of mentality, yeah, you just an asshole, because not everyone can be the boss.
The next point is gonna be what? They want to be like Most High.
That's what it is. They want to be like the Most High. They want to be. How far are you gonna take it? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to be the man, but everybody can't be the man.
Like Esau, bro.
And not like Esau, yeah. Like, you got Scottie Pippen and you got Jordan, man.
He's just envious.
You got certain men are gonna be that guy. You gonna have to be. Sometimes you gotta play sidekick.
What do you see it? They lost 2 minutes.
Oh, my thing. Yeah, I expected it. Come on, it's not right in the world if they didn't. Go on.
So some of them he have blessed and exalted, right? So this destroys the equality right here. He's made, made some blessed and exalted and others not so, right? And some of them he sanctified and set near himself, i.e. Israel, as he said, right?
Right. You know what? We got to even break it down even further than that, brother. We got to stop right there. Let's talk about Levi now, right? Because you had the tribes of Israel is the people of the Most High, right?
Yeah,
but the Lord even more sanctified in Levi. But then even within Levi, you had the sons of Aaron, and only the sons of Aaron could go into the holies of holies. So not every Levite could even go into the holiest of the holies, right? And then you had the high priest who could, you know what I'm saying? So even among Israel, the Lord set up certain things. And what happened when Korah and them man tried to overstep the bounds? Because they thought they could be made equal. The ground opened up and swallowed them to Ras Clot. And them man went back to the ground from whence they came. Some say they're still there. Yeah? So that's another example that some he have sanctified. Now, to be of the key thing about that is it's the sons of Aaron. So let's say you was a Levite now. You did all you be studying up the scrolls. You studying up, listen, by the time you're like 25, because as a Levite, you couldn't perform the office until you were 25. That's called the administrative age. Just like now, you can't drive unless you're like 16 in England, and then you can't. It doesn't mean you're not a man yet. You know, they're like these dickheads. They like to say, "Oh, you're not a man if you're not 20." No, the age of 20 was an administrative age, where
for that particular role,
for certain things like war, or even certain tithes, you wouldn't start paying, or certain offerings you didn't have to make until we're 20. But think about why that would be. Is it because you're not a man yet? No, it's because you're fucking 20. You're a young man. Like, you need to build yourself up before it start taking from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, goodness gracious, people are stupid.
You don't even rule your own house yet.
You're 20. You're still young. You're a stripling. But then with a Levite, you had to be 25. So that gives you even more time to get the scriptures correct, to watch, to learn, because you couldn't make no mistakes.
It's an important role.
It's just like now, to be a surgeon, you ain't gonna be a surgeon at 21. You have to go for another 10 years. You gotta do 6 years in the uni. Then you gotta do your residency before you come out at the other end. You ain't gonna find no surgeon that's 20 years old.
You start cutting up people.
Before you start cutting into people and doing mommy tucks and all that. Anyway, right? So 25. Imagine you did all that till you're 25 and you tried to go into the holies of holies because you did all the studying and. But you're dead.
Hey, you might even know it better than a man.
You might know it better than one of the sons of Aaron.
Yeah.
Dead. You touched that ark. Dead. Why? Because the Lord bestowed a specific sanctity on the sons of Aaron. So that means that privilege was passing from one son to another. You couldn't earn it, and it wasn't by vote. Oh, I vote you. No, there weren't no voting. So that should show you something about the nature of the Most High. The sons of Aaron had a special role within the tribe of Levi, that even being a Levi, if you weren't of that lineage, you couldn't substitute them man in. Oh yeah, no, but you're a Levi, it's fine, just go up in there. Zip. Lightning. Thunder, that's it. Yeah, so what does that teach you? Bun the fairy tale notion of life, and let's go back to what's in the scriptures.
What's been established.
Yeah?
Yep. So some of them he have blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself.
Right. So then now the whole nation of Israel is being sanctified and set near, because the Bible. Let me get that.
Well, the scripture say people near unto him, man. Talking about us, you know. So there's, you know, like I said, there's no equality here, man. The Lord is setting boundaries, between things, between all things.
By birth.
You know, and these things have a particular order, a particular privilege that others don't have. You know.
Yeah, because even though, and another thing is, let's separate what they had from birth, but then also what they had to do to maintain it. So you had to be clean, right, to enter into the Holy of Holies, right? So even though you were the sons of Aaron, you still had to maintain certain things to keep that going. So it's just like Israel, we're the sons of God, but we got to act right.
It's what you're saying, that we don't have to earn it, right? You mentioned that, right? You can't earn something that's been given, right? But you have to live up to it.
Yeah.
You have to live up to it, man. You know, so there is things that you need to do to keep that. Because, you know, if you, you know, bring it today's time, man, you got, you know, a millionaire and you got his son. You can't just, you know, just leave everything to him and he's just mad with the money. You know, he's just being a playboy and he just ruined everything, man. Eventually he's going to lose it all. He ain't going to be in that privileged position no more because he's fucked it all up. You know, kind of what we've done in the past. We fucked up our position, man.
We fucked it up.
You know, we had something good going for us and we messed it up, man. And so we have to go for all this punishment, right? But we know how that ends. The Lord having mercy upon his people and re-establishing his people back at the top. Right? So that's, you know, what we're waiting for. That's what we're going through right now. That's what we're waiting upon, to be put back to where we belong. Okay, which is only above the nations, man.
It's just my right.
You know, to retake our privilege.
I am. Was that thing? There's that show on Netflix, innit? The dude that he got, his father owned the estate. What's it called again, man? And he got sent to the Vikings, and he come back and he's like, he took his father's name back, and he's like, listen, this is my place. This is my father's place, like, and this is my right. I am of Barnabas or whatever. Yeah, because he was right. You know what I'm saying? If you by birth, that inheritance is his. And man's come back to claim it.
And that's that scripture about the prodigal son. You know, being returned back unto the Father, man. That's us. You know, despite our transgressions.
I got it there, 2 Thessalonians 2:13. But we are bound to give thanks always to God for you, brethren, beloved of the Lord. What's your phone?
I probably, yeah, I finished reading.
Beloved of the Lord, because God hath from the beginning chosen you to salvation through sanctification of the Spirit and the belief of the truth. So the Lord is sanctifying his people. He's sanctifying. That's why he said you're a royal priesthood, a holy nation. That's what Peter said. The Lord is sanctifying the Israelites again, beginning with the elect, to be that people near unto himself. As it is written, the tabernacle of the Lord is with men, and he will dwell with them. It's talking about the Israelites. The Lord has never placed his tabernacle among human beings. The tabernacle has always been among his chosen people, and it's going to stay that way. The heathen are the outer court, and they will always be the outer court, and there's nothing a heathen can do to transition himself from being the outer court to being in the inner court. There's no test you can take. They just ain't made of the right ingredients because they weren't made for that purpose. And I know it's difficult to accept because, again, this fairy tale ideology of equal opportunities. Oh, equal. Everybody should have the opportunity. Well, guess what? That's not the reality of life. It's not equal opportunities. And the sons of Aaron is a prime example.
You say it.
Because you say it.
Just 'cause you say it, you know?
You got the thrones of the house of David. That's not equal opportunities. Because if you're not of the house of David, what are you meant to do then? That's why Yahweh Shai himself was born of the house of David.
Had to be.
Because the Lord respects his own word, man.
That's it.
No, equal opportunities, bro.
It goes on to say, but some of them he have cursed and brought low and turned out their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render them as he liketh best. Good is set against evil. Right, we're going to the contrast now. Right? Good is set against evil, life against death, So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High.
So it's the work of the Most High then? Oh no. We gotta be childish now. Oh no. God didn't create evil people. That's not part of His plan. You know, the Christian will say it's the people that are evil. The free will. They done it themselves. It was Satan, and they try and like they try and rationalize it, but then it doesn't fit into the aspect of He's the Most High. Then how is He the Most High if these people are just doing what the hell they want to do? How does that work? And that's the childishness of Christianity. They can't even accept that the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart for him to get brought up. That was His plan. You try to break that down to a Christian, they'll try every way to twist it. No, God don't hate the sinner. He hates the sin.
So what about all the firstborn in Egypt?
What does it say in Psalms 6 and 5 and Psalms 10 and 5? About God hating sinners, but what do you mean?
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus 12 and 6. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the might day of their punishment.
Well, there you go. Didn't the scripture say the Lord have created the wicked for Him, create all things for Himself, and yea, even the wicked for the day of destruction? So the Most High control everything, man. He control both sides. Now, if you're childish and you got a Disney mentality and you think of everything like Aladdin, and then yeah, you can't accept that. Oh no, I don't want to believe it, no. But then you're denying the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. The Lord created Esau Edom to be the devil that he is. And He's still going to punish him for being the devil that he is. Because He created him for that purpose. He created him not only to be evil, but to be subject unto the punishment for evil people. Just be mature about it. Right? And I liken it, like I said, I'm into story.
Are you following the Google?
I liken it.
Are you following the Google?
I'm liking it onto the. So
what does Google say?
I'm liking it onto the when you're writing a story. I like watching analysis on story writing. When you write an antagonist, you purposely during the process of writing an antagonist make the antagonist do things worthy of the payoff that you're gonna do for the antagonist at the end. Otherwise, it don't hit right. Yeah. So you have your antagonist do something evil, like kick a child, burn a village, or rape someone's mother. So that at the end, when the good guy's ripping his face off or burning him alive, there's a payoff. Everyone's happy that the most heinous act has just been committed. But if you never writ it for that antagonist to do these things that are evil, when he gets burned up, everyone's like, right, like I don't think he deserved that, and it will make the protagonist look like he's the bad guy. Do you understand? When Arnold Schwarzenegger's kicking man down into fire and they're burning alive, the only way it's justified and it makes you feel good and they celebrate is because they've seen that guy do things throughout the course of the film that's worthy of the judgment that he's getting. You know, when people hate a character, oh, that character's wicked, and then when they get what's coming to them at the end of the film, it makes you feel good. It feels right, yeah? So if a man can write a script like that, he's created that character to be evil and to be punished. Why can't the Most High? And it's gonna feel right when Esau is... Listen, this is what we do know. When Esau's done so much evil, when Esau gets what's coming to him, it's gonna be like, yes. Like when Joffrey got choked, everybody was celebrating. You remember that? Joffrey from Game of Thrones. The kid was so wicked and evil that when he got poisoned, some people thought that weren't even good enough. The other guy, Ramsay, the Ramsay character, he got ate alive by dogs. But everybody enjoyed that. Why? Because he done so much fuckery throughout the course of the writing that when he got ate by wild dogs, But all of that was for the purpose. Are you gonna say the writer? Why did you write the character to do all that? No one questions it. So why are you questioning the Most High? Fuck off out of here, man. The Most High do what He want. Everything is according to His pleasure. So He created the wicked to be the wicked and to be punished as the wicked. Simple. They ain't gotta complicate it. Go on.
This is the book of Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it careful with tears.
The Lord, now we can find instances where Israelites have sought repentance with tears, and the Lord heard them. The prayer of Manasseh comes to mind. And it's funny because in the prayer of Manasseh, he references, if I'm not mistaken, they're the righteous seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let me see if I can get it. Can you get the prayer of Manasseh real quick? I'm sure that he references that in the prayer. There we go. In the first verse, read that. And the Lord had mercy on Manasseh and the people for the sake of, but He didn't have mercy on, He didn't grant no repentance unto Esau.
This is a prayer of Manasseh, king of Judah. O Lord, almighty power of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and of their righteous seed, who has made heaven and earth with all the ornament thereof, who has bound the sea by the word of thy commandment.
Now, so why is he even mentioning this Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Because it's important. Because the Lord has granted great mercy unto that particular seed of people. He didn't say, oh God of humans, oh God of mankind. He said, nah, man, I need to listen, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And when we pray, we're supposed to pray like that, not in the way of like we're trying to force the Most High to do anything. We can't. But it's almost like you're saying, look, man, Lord, man, I believe, because look, I'm an Israelite, man. I believe what you've written, that you gotta have mercy on me.
Well, there's a promise attached to those people.
There's a promise attached, man, that the Lord's gonna be with us in a particular way. You just gotta be mature and adult about this thing. That's all it is. Oh no, that's it. What's up?
It's just got fast.
Oh. What? Just coming from Romford Market? Oh.
Traffic, man.
Oh. Okay. Damn. Been walking with a thing.
Well, we were told to walk 11 minutes from there. But I said there might be another bus. I didn't know what bus we got here, innit? So we decided the bus.
Hey, go on.
This is second Ezra 6 and 50. 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the word for our sake. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing.
They're nothing, man. They're insignificant, which is why the new covenant doesn't address them. Like I said, man, even the scholars will tell you that there is no Israelite writing, whether it be biblical or secular. If you know, we need to draw this home, because you got biblical writings and then you got like secular writings, just people writing in general, just writing. Yeah, there is no recorded book or article or letter or anything of any sort in which it references the love of the Most High to other nations. Just think about that. Thousands of years of Israelite history, Israelite writings, and not once did any prophet, any author, any king, any scribe, anyone throughout the Hebrew history ever mention anything about God loving the other nations. It wasn't until goofy Christianity started trying to propagate that lie, which is why there's when you read the new covenant, your mind should not even go towards any other people. The only reason that the minds of the people right now are believing in this fairy tale of salvation for everyone is because they've been brainwashed by that fairy tale from a child. But if you use the history and the context of the Bible as your guide, and you go from Genesis through all the way and then you get to the New Testament, you wouldn't even consider that, yeah, this is talking about Esau and Elam, and there's no basis for it. You wouldn't even think that, which is why it was never an issue. The issue was that who were these guys in terms of these guys are going off. Paul was never trying to save no heathens. That was never a contention because he knew the letters. He knew the writings of the prophets. That would be asinine. That would be like, what? No, like, that's not, when did that happen? This ain't no John Wick movie where you could just write in the third act, write in shit that never existed in the first movie. It's like, hold on. You know the new movie, John Wick 4, they just came up with some, yeah, well, you can make a challenge. Huh? Wait, why didn't they just do that in the first film? Yeah, because they just added it in, like, you know what I mean? Because they needed to make a fourth film. It's a redcon. The Bible doesn't redcon. Just add some shit in. Oh yeah, by the way, I love all people. Huh? So why didn't the Lord mention that by the mouth of any prophet previous? Like, it doesn't exist. Oh, but God loves everybody. Show me. Why did the Lord neglect to say that at any point? To the point we're reading that the scriptures is a prophet himself is saying, hey, they're nothing. The God has always thought of these other nations as nothing. Now we're meant to believe that a power that has said that the other nations is nothing now is sacrificing his only son for people that he thinks is nothing. Make it make sense. Would you do that, man? Would you sacrifice your son for someone that you think is nothing? Make it make sense. It don't make sense. It only makes sense in a fairy tale world that makes you feel good, filled with white bunnies and, you know, cute little animals, furry animals, man. Some Shrek film. You know, Puss in Boots, you know, he does that that cute face and the eyes get big. That's how these men are living, like children. Oh, isn't that cute and fuzzy? Like it's a baby thing. No, grow up, man, and be a man. Like, God don't love everyone, and it's okay.
Go on up. It's the book of Malachi 3:6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
Yeah, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. The Lord has always shown that he's only concerned with his own people, man. That is the legacy of what we read in the Bible. When you got guys at Vocab, they want to keep you, Jake, in a Disneyland state. In a effeminate Disneyland childish mentality. Oh, everyone's equal. Everybody can be saved. It's bullshit, man. Just grow up, man. Read the scriptures and take it for what it is, man. Nah, actually, nah. It's on. The Lord has only ever loved Israel, and he's made that very clear. The Gentiles that are being taught are Israelites that are scattered among the nations that are being brought back into the fold as was prophesied. Just deal with it like an adult. Like an adult with maturity, and accept that everybody can't make it into the, you know. And the funny thing about it, right, is this is what I mean about the reality of life. You think if I go down to one of these, this is how bad it is. You remember them black women? Yeah, them black women they got the British black girl aesthetic. So that means they got the blonde hair and all this shit, yeah. Which is basically the black British aesthetic is basically trying to look like a white woman, yeah. So Chris Brown was, you remember Chris Brown was in town, yeah, doing his show, and he had an after party. Now the after party, I forgot the name of the club, but everybody knows, yeah, I don't care who you are, you know that when you go down central London, yeah, there's certain clubs that if you're a so-called black person, unless you're a footballer, you ain't getting in there. Like, don't even line up. Yeah, I don't care how hot you look, I don't care what you got on. Yeah, unless you personally know that promoter and he's said you can come to my club. If you're some random Donny pulling up with your AP and you come up to the door and there's like 6 black men trying to get in, them man will be like, nah, mate, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. 6'8" black girl come, listen, now you gotta go. So everybody knows that there's certain clubs, they don't want niggas in there. They let 1 or 2 in and that's it. These black bitches went there to the club and had the nerve to complain and start talking shit about Chris Brown because they weren't let in the club. When they know full well that that particular club does not let niggas in. They don't want niggas around. And that's fine, that's up to them. They don't want your money, then just go to another club. Why, you know, why make a big deal of it? You know not to go there. Now, let's say them girls had gotten in and another group of black girls behind them didn't get in. Do you think they would have been doing videos? They would have been in the club looking to nosh off Chris Brown. They wouldn't give a fuck about who didn't get in. They didn't care who didn't get a ticket, who the bouncer kicked out. No one cares. When you get into that club, have you ever, unless it's your actual brethren that didn't get in, have you ever cared who didn't get into the club with you? No, you don't give a fuck who got rejected because you're in the club. It's the same thing with the VIP. I used to get on a certain VIP one time. Not no big clubs, but I used to get on the VIP because I knew the promoter. So you know the promoter, you can get in the VIP, right? And so I used to turn up, yeah, like me and my brethren. It's like, yo, like, there's my name, da-da-da. Oh yeah, you're on the list. And they used to let me in. I didn't give a fuck who weren't on the list. That's not my business. But all of a sudden, when it comes to this truth, Jake just cares about everybody else and who can make it. But what about the white man? What about him? Do you say that when you go up in the VIP? What about that? Well, how come he can't get into the VIP? This is a VIP situation that we're dealing with right here when we're dealing with the scriptures. You got to know the promoter. You ain't just getting in there like that. It's VIP for a reason, man. Everybody ain't getting all up in the VIP. Come on, man. It's just life. Stop cry about it. And what do? You be an adult, don't you? You're lining up and you see man getting in the VIP. You don't start crying, do you? Like, yeah, them man are VIP. I got a line up here. I knew that when I came to the club. If you're not in the VIP, you got to get in this long ass line and wait like everybody else. I ain't no footballer. That's called being an adult, right? Oh, well, how come they get to go in the VIP? Well, you know that's just how it is. You ain't going up in there with the footballers, mate. Yeah, man.
This is the book of Luke 1:68. Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people, and has raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
All these annals of writings that we have supports our doctrine of reality, and this is the key thing. That's why we could do the Hebrew hopscotch. That's why we could go into every book from Genesis to Revelations and support our doctrine, and they can't. The fairy tale doctrine of Christianity, that everybody can be saved and God loves everyone, cannot be supported by the law and the prophets. There's no support in there. They don't have the context. Yeah? What's up, bro? We got lost, man?
I'll tell you the whole thing, my brother. I'll tell you the whole thing, man.
We'll have to discuss that over some drinks. Go on, man. Yeah.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies.
We're going to be saved from our enemies, and we have enemies, and that's part of being mature. In a fairy tale world, we don't have enemies.
Everyone's our friend.
Everyone's your friend, isn't it? But the reality is that as a people, because you can have personal enemies, right? Because even among Jake make enemies of themselves, right? But I'm talking about as a nation of people, we have an enemy as a nation of people, and our enemies are the other nations.
And the Most High outright declared war against Amalek forever.
He's definitely,
you know, and that's a tribe and nation of sorts, right? Against a whole people, you know, for what they did.
The hook knows, man.
and from the hand of all that hate us.
From the hand, we're not, see, and this is another fairy tale. Oh, you conquer hate with love. What the fuck told you this? Where did you get this shit from? You conquer hate with love.
So I guess that's why when your house try returns, you're gonna bust people's heads with the rod of iron.
How is that work? You conquer hate with love.
This is the thing, this is what I'm thinking, right? It's never been known for that to happen in the whole existence of time, right? Violence has always solved them sort of issues, right?
I mean, I suppose there could be some situation where you don't necessarily have to fight fire with fire, and you can bring people around.
Talk it over.
But that's not no eternal rule of law. You know what I'm saying? That's not an eternal rule of law where you fight hate with no. If someone hates you, more than likely you're not going to be able to bring them around. And this is what Jake does. So Jake's idea of the so-called white man is he's going to change, and I'm going to do something to make him love us. Our way of being saved, and this is the fairy tale mentality of the average Jake, that our salvation is not through the Lord coming to conquer our enemy. It's not the Lord coming and putting our enemy beneath us so we can have the supremacy over our enemy. Their idea of salvation is their enemy loving them. Their enemy changing his mind and changing his attitude and loving them, and thus the salvation will come through
him,
the enemy, himself. That's why you get these but we need the allies. You know, I hate niggas like that, man. You know, don't you think we need allies? Bro, we don't need no crackers, man.
Hey, you're missing the most important ally, which is the Most High.
What the hell is
you ain't accomplishing nothing without the Most High,
and
you're concerned about Edomites.
And you know these niggas that's got white women as wives and shit. The allies, cause listen, bro, we don't need no fucking crackers.
Pussy-footed, bro.
Pussy-footed. We don't need no fucking cracker friends. We don't need no Edomite friends, and we don't need no Edomite allies to be saved. We don't. But I think things are changing. I think that in a few years, you know, because I've got a white woman as my wife, yeah, things are changing, and eventually we're all gonna be friends because everyone will be mixed race. That's what some people even say that bullshit, man. I'm thinking to myself, bro. First of all, have you seen that statistically? There's not that many like relationships between interracial relationships. That statistically is more so pushed on TV than it is in reality. In reality, most so-called black people are with other so-called black people, and most white people marry and intermingle and have children with other so-called white people. It's not that significant. If you look at somewhere like England, maybe if you live in Barking, you might see a few, but go outside of London, you got Kell Brook, you know what I mean? Like, who is it? Like, it's few and far between. And secondly, that doesn't stop racism, because even on TikTok right now, you got loads of so-called biracial cursing out their mom for being a racist and their mom's family. That doesn't solve racism, yeah? You know what I'm saying? It didn't solve racism in slavery either, because the so-called white man's always been popping black women. They didn't become not racist all of a sudden. That's bullshit, man. There's enmity between the woman's seed, yeah, and the seed of the serpent. That's not gonna change. Esau Edom is always gonna be our enemy, and he has a perpetual hatred for us. So the salvation is not going to come from Esau having a change of heart. But this is why you Negroes fall for Esau, because Esau knows all I need to do is pretend like I've had a change of heart, and these niggas will eat it up, because that's what they're looking for.
They wait on me.
Which is why you get guys like Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. All they have to do is act like, yeah, I love black people.
I promise you shit you ain't gonna get.
And it doesn't matter what they actually do, as long as they say it. Niggas in that Disneyland mode, they're like, oh, thank God.
Because Trump's a racist.
An ally. An ally. Oh, and it's like my man's like killing your people and doing madness.
Put you in jail and shit.
You're so caught into the Disneyland version of what you're looking for, you can't see it, because you want this man to love you so bad. When if you stick to the scriptures, his love is never necessary. Let's read it again. We're going to be delivered from the hand of them that hate us. So we don't need love from these people. We don't need their love. We don't need their Oscars. We don't need them to recognize us. Oh, not enough black actors get the reward.
Because for them, the proof of the soul white man is the highest highest praise you can get.
Hey, they really
them.
want that approval, boy. I want more. Why can't there be more black models, bro? You're in a white country, blood. Why do you think there should be more black models? How about you go to a black country and be a model there? But
Why the fuck do you want to be a model?
Yeah, why the fuck you want to be a model anyway?
You know?
Oh, I don't get award, bro. Just make your money, man, and just survive. Like, why are you so caught up in? Yeah, they didn't want to give me a Grammy because I'm black. Why do you need a Grammy? Why do you want a Grammy?
I want to be recognized.
You want to be recognized by him, bro. His whole society is about to be destroyed, but you just want to be loved and recognized by Satan.
Yep.
And it's sick. Fuck him. Them not, hey, them not like we are, we not like them. Hey, good. That's the spirit you gotta be in, man. Them not like we are, we not like them. Hate them back. That's what you should be doing.
Indignation.
Indignation, man.
Pure, that pureness.
But again, the Disneyland. Hate is bad.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But like I said, the Lord's coming with indignation, though.
Don't hate. Don't hate. Hate, that's that Disneyland thing.
He's the sufferer.
So you ask a Christian, do you hate anyone? Oh, no. You liar. You liar. Do you hate Hitler? Well, but you know, it's okay to hate Hitler.
Hey, but the scripture tells you to love the good and
hate the evil.
You have to hate.
Oh,
you
these
have
guys,
to hate something.
They preach hate. They preach hate. Like, it's because you're caught up on the Disneyland thing. It's a Disneyland. I told you, Christianity is for children. When a mature person will understand that hate and love is necessary.
That's why you can't even make a good anti-hero, bro.
Yeah, nowadays, blood. Can't even make a good hero, too. The heroes are flipping assholes. Anyway, go.
It's David, King David, they say in the book of Psalms 139 and 21, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee.
Say David a hate preacher? Is David a hate preacher? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, beginning with you men, you need to grow up. Especially if you're going to be dealing with these scriptures. If you're going to be dealing with these scriptures, you have to become a mature adult and learn to see things in its reality and digest it properly.
Gird up thy loins like a man.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Don't live like these hypocrites live. Like they keep this little false reality going in the back of their mind, when in reality they do hate. Everybody hates somebody or something. But then you ask them, no, I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody. You liar, man. You fucking liar. You do hate someone. Stop it. You do hate something. How can you not hate something? You lying, man. You hypocrite.
That's what I mean. You should be hating something. There's nothing in it. You know what I mean? This world is not perfect, man. There's things to hate. Yeah. You know, because you're required to hate the things that are evil in this world, man. And this world is full of it. It's full of evil, man. So if that comes out your mouth, man, you're out of your mind, man. You're wrong. You're wronging. All right. There's things up in this world to be hated. Esau is just fucking one of them, man.
There's nothing. I'll go as far as to say there is nothing more deserving of hate than Esau.
Yeah,
I can't think of it. You got something, brother?
Yeah, I got something, brother.
Yeah.
This is 2 Thessalonians 1 verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
That's right. The righteous thing to recompense tribulation unto them that trouble you. But when we speak about that recompense, they call us hate preachers, right? Right? And they try, and then now what Vocab Malone is doing is trying to paint us as being some kind of terroristic individual. When no. Our belief is firmly grounded in the return of Yahweh Shai. We don't believe in taking vengeance for ourselves. We believe in the Messiah. So we're not saying, oh yeah, get your Tech 9 and get your strap and go out there and murk off the first Edomite that you see. Dude, that's not our doctrine, because that's not biblical. The Bible says, wait ye upon me. The Bible says, Yahweh Shai, who is our life. You know what I'm saying? Our life is when he returns. We're looking towards the return of our Lord. Isn't it written he is the author? The author, yeah, the
finisher.
Yeah, the author and finisher of our faith. But he conveniently removes that part of our doctrine and just makes it look like we're saying, go punch up Edomites, go kill white people for being white, because they.
This ain't the case.
Nah, that's not true, is it? Because if that's the case, we would all be in jail, wouldn't we?
Well, this is why we mentioned the word indignation, right? Indignation is righteous anger, righteous hatred, right? It's a justice that's coming upon you other nation, man. Why are you getting messed up? Why are we gonna mess you up? Because you need to ask this question, man. If you nation had never done nothing to us, would we hate you? We got no reason to hate you. We might feel indifferent about you because you're lower, you know, you're just heathen, whatever, right? We wouldn't have a reason to hate you if you hadn't done anything. The purpose that we are going to bring this hatred against you, this anger, this destruction against you, is because your wickedness against us, man. Your wickedness. What we're going to do is righteous. What you've done is wickedness. So the Most High is balancing out equations right now, right? By using righteous anger against the wicked, right? So that's what it really is. It's nothing. What we want is not wrong because it's scriptural. The Most High wants it.
Yeah, they want us to just like, they think they could just make it. It could just gonna make itself right. Can't we all just get along?
Forget about it. No, just forget. They want you to forget.
But it ain't gonna get along because even now, like we've seen that. Listen, man, that's why I say you, Jacob, fought to be in Esau's military. When you got into Esau's military, he treated you like shit straight off the bat. He treated you like shit after World War II. The British, and these adverts are still up on YouTube now, where they were praising you so-called Negroes from the islands. The strong, valiant Caribbean man, and they were giving man all the praise they could be,
to have you motivated
because they
to
wanted
fight.
to have you motivated to join the army to fight for the British Empire. You went and fought for the British Empire, and after you were banana munching monkeys, and they were throwing bananas at John Barnes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the truth. You've got, and even to this day, you're English until you do something, and then you better shut down your socials, man, because my mans are onto you. So why are you fighting so hard? Like you, Jake, are fighting so hard to be a part of a man that don't really accept you, and he will never accept you because
There's a perpetual hatred.
yes, a perpetual hatred,
An unrighteous hatred. You know?
I want to represent my
Because
country.
he's envious of us. He's envious of who we are as a people.
I just want to represent America. I just want to represent the flag. Why? Like, why? Just make your money, man. I wouldn't give up. Listen, I'll tell you this for free. Let me tell you this for free. Yeah? I'm just going to put it out there. Like, if I was in the NBA or something and I'm making my money and they said, well, because you're black, we don't want you to represent us for the United States Olympic team. Cool. At least I get a rest. Because I don't give a fuck. I'll go play for Jamaica. I don't give a fuck, man. Why am I even doing this? I wouldn't even feel right. The last time I saw a black bro, and he's pretty good, bowling for the English cricket team, I'm like, whose cousin is this? Why is this man playing cricket for England, bro? You're supposed to play cricket for the West Indies, bro. Why are you on the England team playing against the West Indies, blood? You're over here with a bunch of crackers, yeah, trying to bowl out straight up your cousins and that, blood. What's going on? It don't even make sense, bro. The man like Bayako and all these guys playing for England, like. Now I get it, like, you know, but I wouldn't really even play for England. I don't need to. If I was a footballer, I'm already playing in a Premier League team. Premier League, and I'm making my money, and I'm already in a top team like Arsenal and that. Fam, I'm playing for Ghana, blood. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm playing for Nigeria. What the hell am I playing for you, man, for? I don't need to win the World Cup. I'll just play for enjoyment, man. It is what it is. Why I want to play for England and then you miss a penalty and you got to deal with mad monkey emojis and that. Like,
AI-generated images.
AI-generated images, man. But Jake want to be part of these devils, man.
Like the scripture says, why you trimmest thy way to seek love?
To seek love, man. They want to be accepted in everything, and it starts to make you feel sick. Accept that this man's the devil, and then you won't even get triggered by certain things.
You'd expect it.
I don't get triggered.
Precept. It's Proverbs chapter 23, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. We're not meant to really want what he's got to offer.
Or the way he got it.
Yeah. You know? We got our own thing going on.
Yeah, like you get your money to survive and this, that, and the other, but don't expect no different from Esau. Jake gets shocked when they face some racist. Oh my God. Oh my God, this cracker, he hired another cracker over me. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Because I'll tell you this for free. Listen, I'll tell you this for free. If I was in his position, I'd be hiring Jake. And this is
My
the thing.
brothers and
Bro, even the
and
company
cousins or
we
whatever.
work for, yeah, you know that company's racial as fuck.
Yep.
The reality is that the Jake work for other Jake, and the Edomites work for them people. So I can't complain because I'm gonna help my brother get a certain position or job. I'm not really caring about these Edomites, and that's how it should be. You know what I mean? Like, look, man, at this point, you should just know it's par for the course and deal with this man accordingly as your enemy.
Like as it is written that how if Israel become a homeborn slave, like they got that slave-minded mentality. They don't want to get from underneath Esau. You know?
I don't want it. I don't care, man. Or why can't there be more black people on TV? It's his TV. Of course he's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, why do you care so much, man? We need representation. No, you don't. Even in the UK, right, we make up 3% of the population, like 3%. I don't expect nothing from these people, man. I'm a minority here, but I need to get out. I need to get my own. People forget that, innit? They forget, like, we make up 3% of the UK population. You go outside of London, and there ain't even niggas, man.
It's true.
They don't exist, like
one or two here or there.
There's one or two here or there, and then you
just like when you go on holiday, there's one or two Jake on a plane.
There's one or two. Like we're in these countries that we're in, we're all in one little area, but the whole country of millions of people is Edomites, but so what do you expect from them? And they hate you. So what do you want? I want to see more actors, bro. We're 3% of the population. Anyway, go on. And then they do it, and then it makes you feel like you're part. Because now they put a lot more Jake on TV, token Jakes all over the TV, and what? Now you feel better? Fools. Come on, rulership, man. No fucking representation. Yeah, go on.
It's Ecclesiasticus 13 and 4. Say, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee.
Yeah, Esau only uses Jake for his opportunity or to build himself up. He doesn't care about you, Jakes, and he shouldn't. I don't expect no different. And then once you start to realize that, you're angry, but you're not over angry. So you'll find out we don't get as triggered as the average Jake will get triggered, and they use the media to trigger the Jake. Oh look, Balenciaga, they use the monkey picture on their t-shirt.
We come to expect these things.
Like, what am I meant to do? Lose my? Oh my God! So, come on, man. They're like, there's worse thing that this devil's doing. Like it's just.
You know the guys that are in the right spirits, these Edomites, man, these two-time losers, man, when they're seeing Jake getting, better opportunities than getting better jobs and stuff than they do, man, they start cursing Jake out because they're upset.
And rightfully so.
Because they're upset because they're in their kingdom, and yet they're down back.
Yeah, I feel bad
and you got Jake above them and shit, man. Yeah,
I feel bad for you, son. If you got problems, I feel bad for you, son.
99.
Hey, man. Brothers have got better jobs than Edomites out here, blood. It's peak. And they go,
if thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yeah, he will make thee bear, and he will not be sorry for it.
That's why the Bible said the thief cometh not but to destroy and to kill. At the end of the day, Esau will always use the sword or Jedi mind tricks to alleviate you of your value and your wealth, man. And that is how it has been. What's going on?
No, just checking.
Oh, the way he was.
No.
Yeah, that relieve you of it, and it's gonna be like that until the day that he is destroyed. He is the enemy. He's still the enemy to this very day. That's why he wants to chip us, man. That's why he wants to put a microchip within us, man, to control us, because he's still the enemy. Even if he goes on the TV and you see him ostracize someone for calling you a nigger, it's still the enemy. What they call the Black Lives Matter and all the corporations are hashtag BLM. That made you feel better, did it? What did it change in your life? Fools.
If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope.
Put thee in hope. Deceive thee, smile upon thee, put thee in hope. And Esau will play upon the fact that you, Jake, just want his acceptance, man. And then he got you right where he wants you because you ain't got your guard up. You think this man's your friend. You think he's with you. And he just scheming on you, man.
Go on.
Because you don't want to accept the fact that this man is the enemy, man. He's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Enough of you ran and got the... Yeah, you know what we're talking about. Yeah? You went and got the... You listened to ISUPK and you got the... Right? And now look, man. Enough man are dropping dead.
Going blind.
Blood clots going blind. All kind of madness, man. We didn't take it because we already know this man's the devil. Like, I'll take my chances. I'd rather trust a virus than the virus of the earth.
Well, what did you know, when David transgressed and he numbered Israel, right? He said rather fall into the hands of the Lord.
Yeah, than the hands of yeah.
Yeah, you rather just trust the, the thing to do his thing rather than trust Esau with his bullshit.
Yeah, but tell that to ISUPK.
Yeah, better to fall into the hands of the Lord, man, because the Lord is merciful unto his people. The Lord is merciful. But Esau is, he ain't got that in him, man.
And what did he do? He pushed it on you, Jake. What did he say? Well, historically, we've experimented on you, and historically we've treated you bad, so we're gonna use this as an opportunity to and niggas love that. Oh yeah, he's changed. Oh yeah, he loves us now. Come.
He cares about us.
You fucking goofy ass niggas, man. Just like that, man, because you really want to suck Esau off, man. You really want to suck Esau off real bad. You want to give him the best top. That's what it is. That's what it is, man. You really, you want Esau to love you, like that daddy that left you. You know what I mean? And you pretend you're angry, but really you just want him to give you attention. Just want him to love you, man.
I got a precept, brother. Yeah, this is
Why won't you love me? Fuck Esau, man.
Yeah, this is Psalms.
I don't need your love. Sorry, man. My love don't change. Yeah, go.
Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 10, verse 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud, and under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
That's vocab alone. Vocab alone is basically like he hates you so-called Negroes, right? And he doesn't want you to be that very idea that you are superior to him is sickening. It irks him to the degree he's now dedicated his life to destroy that very notion. It's okay for you to be niggas. Heyman. He's okay for you to be a nigga. That's fine. Like, be a nigga. Like, you don't see him on a campaign to get the drillers and
do you hip hop and
you don't have no problem with that. What he has a problem with is that we're saying that we're the Israelites, we're the superior people, and we're gonna be delivered. And that irks him to such a degree that he's dedicated his life now to destroying our doctrine, regardless of anything. But he will pretend that he's doing it because of love. But then you see him start making mockery of us and saying our skin's dirty, and then it starts coming out. The parodies.
That's not love. And
then he said, "I'd rather one guy said, I'd rather burn in hell." No, and you gotta break this down.
It's deep.
We gotta break this down. One guy, one of his crew, I forgot the guy's name. He said, "I would rather burn in hell forever with Satan than be a slave to Apostle of Rhyme Love and Apostle to Heart."
It's a bit drastic.
Now.
It's a bit OTT.
You ever burnt yourself before?
How long do you think you can enjoy that?
You know how terrible it is to burn, lad. Yeah, terrible. It is extremely terrible.
Bro, just getting touched by an iron is too much, bro.
Yeah, you know when you burn yourself sometimes, your blood pressure goes up straight away. You start sweating.
The reactions.
Oh shit.
That could have been dangerous.
And that was like a 1 second touch. You're like, this guy said he'd rather burn in hell than be a subordinate. That's basically what he's saying. I'd rather burn in hell than to have you lord over me. That's how much a disdain that these so-called white Christians have for you Negroes, but you don't realize it because they come with that love. The so-called church is the most segregated institution in the world. So-called white people go to white people's church, and so-called black people go to so-called black people's church, and it's been like that from the beginning. These men have always had a hatred and racist, meanwhile promoting the Disneyland version. They fucking hate you, man. And the idea that you're gonna make them pay for something, It irks them. They're like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are breaking down the Bible? I break down the Bible and you listen to me.
Yep.
Oh, you got the Hebrew? How could you have? But his man can make up what they want. On the spot, they're valid. But anything we say is not valid. We can't have any spiritual inspiration, but him and John Calvin and they can have spiritual. In fact, let me ask you, how many of the biblical scholars that Christianity looks up to are so-called black men? I'll be waiting. When you go to Trinity Bible College and they're quoting this guy and quoting this guy that's breaking the scriptures down, how many of them are so-called black men?
Well, I guess it's a zero, blood.
Zero. So when you follow Christianity, your spiritual guidance and your spiritual fathers are all Edomites, except for the actual men in the Bible.
And you got scholars out there that don't even believe in the Bible, man. And that's just sickening.
Yeah, I mean, you know? Too.
I'm reading some of the notes that they make in some of them, and they don't even believe in the scriptures, man. They're just criticizing it with the fucking time, man.
And brothers, if I may say too, another reason why Esau don't want to admit that we're the Israelites, because they know the wrongs that they've done unto us. So they have to play like, oh yeah, well, we did this to you niggas because. But that's what it all boils down to. They don't want to accept the wrongs that they did, because if we're the people of God, then they're in shit. They're in shit.
Well, that is the worst position to find themselves in under our hand after knowing what they've done. It's the worst place they ever want to be, man.
Maybe he's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the worst. Yeah, it's the worst place you would ever want to be, man. You know, because you know what you've done and you know what the results of that would be.
But they demonize us. We become the bad guys, and they're the good guys.
Because it's the same fear that Pharaoh had. Jake was more in number, right? And there was so much of us, it's like, oh yeah, but what if they join under the enemies and overthrow us, man? You're afraid of being overthrown, so that's why you oppress us, man. Because if we was ruling over you, what would we do? What would we do? Right? Well, we're telling you in the scriptures what the Lord says we're going to do. Right? This ain't about our own personal feelings about things. The Lord is saying what we're going to do when we're in power.
There's no fairy tale ending for them.
No.
You got sign? You got sign?
I had sign.
Yeah. There ain't no fairy tale.
Yeah? You got something to finish? Okay.
Ain't no fairy tale ending for Esau, and we're okay with that. In fact, it is a fairy tale ending. Is it? In a way, it's a fairy tale ending of a bad guy. You're the evil man, and you're gonna get what's coming to you, and that's that, man. But you have to be mature about it. You have to be mature, and you have to be manly. Yeah, and just accept that these people have to suffer, man. That's life.
Suffering happens, man.
Shit happens, man.
Shit happens, yeah. But yeah, Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And the scripture speaks about kind of leopard changes spots.
Right. The political correctness error has fooled a lot of Jake into thinking that there's some kind of change in the heart of Esau towards them, when there is no change. What happened is racism went covert and went underground, and there's actually been studies on this. It's actually that racism has actually gotten worse. But what happens is the average, whereas before their racism was very overt because there was no reason, there was no filter. Oh, nigger, get out of my way, nigger. You know, they could do that. What happened with the era of political correctness is they're not gonna say nigger, get out of the way, because their elites have outlawed that, because they want to put you, Jake, in a false sense of oh, okay, yeah, like things are changing for me. But it's a token gesture, because they're still treating you like niggas, but they're just not calling you niggas. But they're still getting what they want, which is their system of enslavement continues, and they still go into the races at Monaco, and you ain't. But they'll ostracize anyone that hates speech, but still promote the abortion program.
Make it like he's for you.
You know what I'm saying? They'll still everything they were doing against you continues. The drugs, the crime, the abortion programs, the psychological operations. They still doing all that, but they're not going to call you a nigger to your face. And that makes you feel like something.
And it's the same with everything Esau does, man. Esau come out and tell you, you're a philanthropist trying to save the world and shit, right? But at the same time, he's running money through fucking the military, US military industrial complex, which is the biggest polluter on the earth and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're still doing things that destroy the earth, but at the same time parading.
Yeah, like they care about the environment.
Sodomizing children too.
Yeah, kidnapping, sodomizing children, all that shit. He's still doing that stuff.
He hasn't changed. He hasn't had a change in heart. He's just very good at hiding it. And if you're an idiot and you're a fool and you're a child, you fall for these very simple thing. So then you think at work, because this cracker don't call you a nigger, that in the back of his mind he don't think you're a nigger. And that's how Jake get it all twisted. And in the background, when he gets with his man them and they get comfortable, what do you think they talk about?
Yeah, they talk
Because
shit.
guess what? That's the same thing we do. What do you think when I'm at work? I'm like, yeah, fuck this Edomite. Yeah, fuck you. You're an Edomite. Get out of my way, you devil. No, I'm like, oh yeah, you alright, John? Yeah. How's it going, mate? Yeah, how's the family? I don't give a fuck about his family. If John died, I really wouldn't care. Like, it just means that someone else is gonna be coming into work. You know what I mean? I don't. Honestly speaking, bro, don't you do that? The Bible says, if it be possible, be peaceable with all men.
Most interactions is like that, man. Outside the bro, most of the interactions I have with people, I don't really care.
You don't care, but you're cordial. You ain't gonna go into the workplace mean mugging everyone. That don't work for you anyway. You gotta play these Edomites at their own game.
Exactly, you gotta do what they do, right? When you're wrong.
You know what I mean? You got a manager at work, he's an Edomite. What you gonna do? Roll in, you fucking devil, you Edomite. You gotta keep it sweet.
You do the Jacob thing, right? You
supplant them. But you know that, like, you still know that, look, Barry, if push comes to shove, this man might sell me down the river because he's the devil.
You still be wary of him.
But you supplant it, like, and you don't make it easy for him to do that. Right? But at the end of the day, I don't care if he dies. If he dies, he dies. And when I get around my man, I'm like, yeah, that Edomite, yeah, the fucking devils, man. You see how these devils do? But they do that. Or in fact, all these nations do that. When they're not around you, even when they're acting like they're friendly with you, you want to know the truth? Get a camera when they're around their own people that think like them, and it all comes out. The same thing with the transgender thing. 90% of people think it's crazy, but the company has a policy of inclusiveness. So this guy comes waltzing in, yeah. And he's like, and then everyone would just be like, yeah, you're okay, yeah, cool, John. Yeah, like, and they'll pretend like they don't have a problem with it. And next thing you know, as soon as he's gone out the room, man, them are looking at each other like, fucking pansy, man. This is a fucking iron. And they all, and you'd be like, rah, like, because they feel comfortable in the group that they're in, that once they realize that everyone is like-minded, they'll say those things. But they weren't gonna say that if a TV camera comes and put it in their face. They'll be like, oh yeah, you know, you know, well, you know, whatever they do in the comfort of their own home doesn't matter. They're gonna say what they know they're supposed to say in front of the cameras or in public. But behind closed doors, when they're at dinner with their friends, hey, fucking wanker, it's fucking monkey. I know. I remember. Remember that brethren I got the Pakistani one. Me and him were cool, and I remember he was telling me about this other Asian dude. And he seemed like a cool dude, right? He was cool. You know, if you needed help, he'll help you out on the shift and or whatever, all that stuff. And he was cool. And I was saying, me and him were having a talk about racism. And he's saying like, bro, you're talking about white people, but I can guarantee you my people are more racist to you than white people are. And he goes, you see that Brer Umar? What do you think about him? And I was like, yeah, he's cool, it's cool. He goes, do you know what he calls you lot when you're not around? So yeah, he was kind of busting the inside thing, because when them Elamites get amongst each other, they talk shit about so-called black people. But they won't do that to your face. They never will.
And that's because all nations think they're better than us.
They think they're better, but they'll talk about Esau with you. They'll join hand in hand with you when you're talking about Esau. And then when you're not there, they'll talk about you with Esau.
And now, if I may say too, because the scripture says the simple believe of every word. So Jake is still kind of simple, but they gotta get out of that simplicity. They gotta cut that shit out.
So when you see them crackers, oh, he called him a nigger. That's horrible. You think that dude? You think that dude is not racist? He just don't want to be labeled as a racist, so he's gonna say what he knows.
He might lose his job too.
Man, I'll take you can call a nigger than getting fucking lynched, man, for fucking, you know what I mean?
You're the devils, man.
That's the least of my issues, bro. Like, cause you're, you know, for your people, you hate our people. That's fine. I don't care. You know, I don't care. Dude, you think what you want to think, innit? We do the same.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Political correctness has just made these devils put a mask on, and that's it. But it's still in them. Like, we know, because we grew up among these devils. And you see how they've changed over time, but we know they're still the same devil inside.
Yeah, like, why? They changed. Come on, man.
Ain't changed, man.
You know, actually got worse.
They're just not so open spoken no
They know
more.
they can't say it because, you know, it's mad. I was going to get this. Political correctness, conformity to prevailing liberal or radical opinion, in particular by carefully avoiding forms of expression or action that are perceived to exclude, marginalize, or insult groups of people who are socially disadvantaged or discriminated against. Yeah? So you're avoiding certain types of expression. So I hate this black person, but I'm not going to call him a nigger because that form of expression is unacceptable. It's going to bring heat. But it doesn't mean in my mind I don't hate him. And that's what you niggas don't realize, man.
He still want to be up in your mind too, man. You want to be all up in your mind, man. You know, is it Harari or Suave saying that kind of madness, man? Wouldn't it be good to know how you feel and how you think? So I know what you all think. No, it wouldn't be a good fucking idea to know for you to know what we all think. Hey,
listen, man. I prefer the devils
that are straight up.
That are straight up.
Definitely.
The straight up devils that will tell you, listen, man, I don't like you niggas, man. And they're the coolest one because you can deal with them on a real level, like because you know, like, listen, man, I don't like you. All right, cool, I know where I stand. The worst devil is the devil the liberal ones that pretend they love black people and that, but them are the devils you need to be really worrying about.
Hey, well, this is it, man. As long as men ain't trying to do you harm,
do your thing.
There ain't gonna be no problem.
We know where we stand as men, and we gotta work together. We work together, man.
That's it. It's just the job.
Hey, I love it when I used to have one cracker I used to work with. He just say shit about black people all the time. That was cool because that gave me license to say shit about white people, and we would work together just fine. He'll be bantering, I'll be bantering. It's all good.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech.
I mentioned this earlier. It's from Daniel 2 and verse 43.
Yeah.
It says, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So the people that are all here, because we mentioned earlier, it's like a melting pot, right?
Yeah.
We don't really get on. We all segregated,
look at the French and the English, man.
And our thoughts.
The French and the English.
Yeah, they fucking
a lot of these European countries don't fucking like each other, but they, the political correctness is, you can't be xenophobic. Well, the British broke that, because they voted for Brexit, blood.
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah,
go back to
Hey, never trust your enemy, man. It doesn't matter. Like, an enemy can pretend to be your friend, man, if it means to get to a goal, man. And that's what they've done with Jake. They've included Jake into certain things and done token things which don't really matter.
Yep, doesn't change the rule.
It doesn't change what they're doing to you as a people. It doesn't change to the fact that all your celebrities are pushing toxic lifestyles which destroy you as a people. But they'll put them on a magazine cover, and you think, see, black people, we're doing something. Yeah, but what are they actually doing?
It's like every Jake, his highest aspiration is to be a fucking rapper now, man.
Yeah.
To wear tens of gold chains around their neck and act like they're bad, but they're not really bad.
Just be an industry plant.
Party. But that's what Esau pushes you as a culture, right? And that's the highest. It doesn't matter what, because we talked about it before, like boxes and that.
Yeah, they still want to be like that typical, but it's a psychological, and that's my point. Esau's still running psyops on you as a people, man. He's still running the psyops, man.
Yep.
And acting like he's doing a good thing for you. He's not doing a damn thing for you. Okay? Now he told you that black empowerment is basically slut empowerment.
Sexual freedom.
It's mad. Anyway, go on now.
Yeah, right. So verse 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. Right. So he also put up a good PR plan for himself. To put himself in a good light to you all. To make you feel comfortable with him. Yeah. So he can deceive you.
Yeah.
Right.
What they did, that affirmative action and all that stuff. It's bullshit, man. It just
man trying to act humble now and like he's on your side. He ain't on that fucking buying this shit. Ain't on that fucking side, man.
Oh, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black and all this stuff.
Madness, bro. Right, it says, yeah, take good heed and beware of him, right? So you were meant to be alert around this dude, man. Right? Because
wait, hold on. Didn't the Conservative Party just put a bunch of so-called minorities in positions in the cabinet? Remember Boris Johnson? And he said it was the most ethnically diverse cabinet, and they had Priti Patel be the foreign secretary. But she was just doing the bidding of the Edomites. But they put a brown face on what they were doing. Rishi, now they got Rishi Sunak. Like,
but it's not diverse.
So you think that now...
Was it David Lammy? A couple of black men in there.
Those are puppets, man.
But it's not really diverse at all. My man are struggling to name names. You know what I'm saying?
And they're still puppets.
Yep, still puppets. That's
they
right.
They have to do what they're told, innit? But then Jake feel like, oh yeah, because we got them in there, that means we're moving up in the world. No, you're not. You're not doing anything.
You gotta be like them, man.
Yeah, I got a quick
You gotta
precept.
become an Edomite in there.
Some of them do.
Yeah. Go on, man.
Yeah, this is Psalms 111 and verse 10. I get to the point. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all that they do his commandments, and his praise endure forever. So I read that to say that we have the wisdom and understanding of these scriptures, and we know who our enemy is, and when he, when he speaks in a good sense, we understand as the elders get into that he's full of S-H-I-T, and that's just the thing. Jake don't fear the Lord. They don't want to return, because once you know who you are, you know who your enemy is all the way through.
It's like Littlefinger. You watch Game of Thrones, man. That dude was devious. But why was he able to fool people? Because he would never let you know what his true ambition was. But if you knew, how could he fool you?
Yep.
Huh.
So once you know the innard of a man, they can never fool you.
Huh.
And the truth, these scriptures reveal him, man.
Right? And the scripture reveals the nature of the beast that we're dealing with. So it doesn't matter how he comes, what mask, and I call it the mask. He could come with the Christian mask, he could come with a hippie mask. They got all kind of characters. The CIA make characters all the time. Esau could come any which way. But it's all a mask that he puts on. Like most of these religions, the heads of the religions are all, they have their own religion inside of that.
Huh.
But they can wear the mask to draw you in. They could pretend to be this and pretend to be that, but what is their goal at the end of the day? Well, it's not for your edification, because we know that this ministry is set up for edification. Esau only seeks to destroy.
Yeah, I got another precept. Yeah, this is 2 Thessalonians, if you don't mind.
No.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7. And verse, we get to that. Yeah, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, and only he who now letteth, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Yeah, like this whole Philip Schofield thing that they've allowed to leak out, right? And it's just another long line. And with these things, people are getting used to it. Every time these leaks come out, there ain't nobody getting burnt. So what's happened is the people are being desensitized. They're revealing themselves slowly to the people. They're letting the people know, listen, we're a bunch of pedophiles, we're a bunch of Satanists, we're devil worshippers. How do you react to that? Are you gonna burn the house down? No, you're not. This guy was a straight up batty boy. The man's, as usual, and ain't it funny, the BBC again, Jimmy Savile. They got a pedophile statue outside the BBC, still to this day, right? This guy groomed up some youth, was banging him up, right? They were paying this man millions on that, and that whole show is a fucking psyop. That GMTV and all that stuff is nothing, and This Morning, it's all psychological operation. That man, during the seating, had them man hugging each other through like plastic sheets and all kind of foolishness, man. Yeah, just destroying the minds of the people. Yeah, like the guy was, it was known what he was doing. ITV knew what he was doing. Everybody knew, just like Jimmy Savile.
It was allowed.
It was allowed to go on, and then now they've brought it out. Yeah, and then it started off with him coming out as being gay, even though he was married to his wife all them years, and they called him some hero.
Yeah, because he came out. I'm so brave.
But guess what? Yeah, if I was married to my woman, and after 25 years of marriage, I just decided to leave her high and dry because I felt like
You're deadbeat, man.
That man would say, "Yo, that's horrible."
Man.
But this man
Left
literally
his woman with kids.
so-called lied to his wife for 25 years, being a batty boy, and it was okay because he was a batty boy.
Yeah.
But really, the truth was that the truth was eventually going to come out of that he was really a batty boy with that young boy that he groomed and gave a job to in the BBC. And guess what? He ain't the only one. Them ministers are doing it. They're all doing it. They're all in on this filthy, this demonic lifestyle, but they're letting it come out more and more to desensitize the public to what's really going on.
It's like we always told you, man. It started off with, with the homos and that kind of stuff, getting their attention, right? Getting their protections and that. But where does it lead to get the pedophiles in this shit, man? That's what's being built up.
It's all fake, and these Edomites know how to wear a mask and they're good, honest. They're not good people, man. They're the ultimate at wearing that mask.
Where is it? Schofield was put up to be like the nice guy, innit? The
Yeah, the nice guy.
you know, the role model guy, right? No, he's a fucking
He
demon.
wouldn't harm a fly. He penetrated that boy. That's harmful, man. That shit hurt. You know what I mean? Like, he was penetrating that young man. He groomed that young man from 10 years old to penetrate him like a predator, like the predator he is.
And it probably happened to him too.
Probably, yeah, you're right. But they're gonna manage the situation as they do. You know what I'm saying?
They do both sides.
Yeah, of course. It's all these people are molested and then they molest other people, man. But he ain't the only one. He ain't the only one, man. This society's rife with that in the media and in the Hollywood and all that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, go on.
back in Sirach 12 and 11 says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not all been together wiped away.
Like this MOTB that's coming down the pipeline, Esau's gonna promote it to you, Jake, as salvation. A lot of you, Jake, are gonna take it. Like, you're gonna run, you're gonna fight other niggas to take it. Like, you're gonna be in the line fighting, and when they set up the line and they say this, okay, these group of people from here can come and get it, you're gonna be upset. Like, hold on, how can them man get it before us?
Yeah.
Just like the seating.
Yeah.
Because not everybody could. Some people were upset. Oh, you know, and some people were coming and bragging. Oh, I got mine. The one brother. Hey, I'll tell you a story. What happened with one guy, man? This Elamite, yeah. Because he works with the ambulance here on the side. He got the fast track here. So all of us that's man at work, and it was like a couple of us at work debating, and most Jakes didn't really want to take it, yeah. And then, so we were looking at this man sideways. You know them ones like,
What's wrong with you?
what's wrong with this fucking Elamite, blood? Why is he on taking this thing? So anyway, he's like, yeah, like, I'm gonna take it. He goes, gets it, and he comes in bragging. Yeah, I got it. Like, look, I got fast track to get it because I'm in the ambulance. Brother, he collapsed, blood, at work. Bro. Right, he collapsed at work while he was bragging about getting the thing, and then collapsed at work, brother. When man saw him, he had to become ambulance come take him, yeah, and he was off for like 3-4 days. He come back, yeah, man couldn't talk. You know the man's man like, yeah, what happened, bro? Bro, and then I was like, are you gonna take the second dose? He can't back out now. He has to double down, innit?
So shall be a base.
That's a double dose, man.
He had to double down, but he was so the same thing's gonna happen again, that because of the crisis that they're gonna bring to put pressure on you to take this MOTB, it's gonna seem like the MOTB is gonna be marketed as a salvation. Listen, you need to take this because once you take this, we can order, all this chaos can be ordered, and we can make sure that you get your food, we can make sure that you get your water, we can make sure you can get that healthcare, we can get that drugs for your granny.
And instant payments too.
We can get that's what it's all gonna be. It's the payment to get the food and all that. Yeah, we can get all that kind of stuff, right? You take this, but you need this chip. It's gonna have your digital ID, but you need to come down to get it inserted. But obviously they can't chip everybody at the same time. So it's gonna be like, they're probably gonna do it in certain facilities and certain people. They're gonna say, if you live in this postcode, you can, and the man are gonna get vexed. Like, hold on, how can them man over there got this thing, us man over there suffering, we need to go there, and people are actually gonna be fighting and rioting to get it.
Well, I know that there's a facility that popped up by near me, right? And you have to book an appointment. You have to get, call in, dial in or whatever, and get your day that you can come down on.
You booked the appointment, bro? How you know that now?
By me, innit? Right? But you're gonna be given time, because obviously the line's gonna be mad, isn't it? Line's gonna be mad, so they're gonna order you to arrange to come down at specific times to come get them done, man. And you could be waiting for that day because you're damn bad. You're running out of food. If you ain't got no food or whatever, man, you're waiting, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be chaos. There's gonna be tribulation, and that's why it's gonna be a temptation, because it's gonna look like salvation. Where FEMA at? Like when where FEMA at?
Hurricane Katrina.
FEMA got something for you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it? Let me get this.
Why they're confiscating your guns? Oh, by the way, do you have any arms? Yeah, you have to hand those over. We're continuing, or you get something?
I want to get this real quick.
Like the scripture that we basically call on, what is it, Revelations 13 and 16. the cause of all, both small. So he's going to set up a major psychological operation to where it's going to just rule the public, and everyone's just going to have to, you know, line up and get that mark, or else, you know, you're excommunicated out of society.
They're gonna want it. They're gonna want it, man. They're gonna be styling on other man that they got it.
The man are eating and you ain't.
They're gonna be styling. Or they think they're gonna eat.
They think they're gonna eat. Yeah.
Hey, this is Luke 17:33 says, "Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it." These men, a lot of these men are gonna seek to save their life, you know, by taking that mark, man, and they're gonna end up losing their life.
Even though it's against the will of the Heavenly Father. You know, and that's why those that are willing to give up their lives are the ones that are going to be delivered, because they show the faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know,
the man have got to get that diabetes, that insulin. They're desperate for that insulin. They're desperate. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, yeah, you know, we could hook you up with some of that insulin, but you need to take this thing right here.
And that's like another shackle Esau put on the world, man. All these diseases and that, he's got you on all this bare medication, man.
And they're probably going to do the same thing again. Oh, you know, but you know what? Yeah, we've been so hard on these so-called black people for years.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to fast track bringing you so-called blacks into the thing. And you're going to have boneheaded Negroes from ISUBK and them, man, like with the big 6'8" flipping Hebrew Israelites with fucking Timberland boots on. Big burly Planet of the Apes armor on here. Man's rolling up with, you know, looking like my man from you know the man from that game Horizon. You know the man that make the weapons and stuff. They got the big armor thing. You know that tribe looking with the big armor thing. Sit down in the chair. Big burly niggas and some little fucking small ass woman coming and penetrating them. You know what I mean? Just giving it up. Yeah, like get it in, like. Yeah.
Well, the scripture says it. You know, I'll read it. Right, it says, "Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And now at last remember my words and be pricked therewith."
Yeah, you gotta be pricked for real.
You're gonna get pricked.
You're gonna get pricked. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, man. And Jake are gonna be running to it, because there's gonna be Jacob's trouble. There's gonna be tribulation. There's gonna be a lot of men are gonna take it for security, because. You gotta remember that pursuing to 2 Ezra the 15th chapter, man. Listen, certain places are gonna get buck wild out here. Certain places are gonna become lawless. Certain places there's gonna be groups of men that's gonna be moving mad. They're gonna be no respect for the law or nothing, and you gonna have people that's got their family and their kids. And they're gonna be like, raw. They're gonna be like, yeah, you can come down to this refuge that we got going on. You're gonna have to take this mark. But when you take that mark, you get to reside in this security. Yeah,
in this region.
In this region that's got the security.
These 12 to 15-minute cities or whatever, man.
Yeah, so then people are gonna be going there for security, man.
Yep.
You know, thinking that Esau's gonna provide, you know, with the big M16 and that, the troops are gonna give them protection, man.
As I say, it's going to be chaos and anarchy. And they call these guys anarchists, man, because they're not playing game with the government, right? They're just taking everything in their own hands, right? It just tells you about that.
Yeah, no man's land, man. And they know that there's that game. What's that game? The Divide or whatever?
Division.
What is it, Division?
The Rainbow game.
And they show you that in the city that certain places they reclaim and that belongs to the government. But in certain areas, you go outside of that and it's a Mad Max thing going on.
Yep.
And there's every man for themselves, and a lot of these people ain't built to live in that situation, man. They're shook, man. They don't want to deal with that confrontation. So they're going to be looking to get to security. They're used to the government and the police providing them with security. So they're going to go find it.
Yep. This verse 12 says, verse 13 says, "Who will pity your charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast?"
Yeah, like Jamie Foxx, man. I don't have no pity for him. Hey, he a bad dude, man. He's probably one of the most talented Jakes on the planet. But he's also one of the stupidest, obviously, isn't it? Right?
Trusting in the enemy.
Because according to the news, he down bad right now. All that talent don't mean nothing when he fucked up. He can't sing, he can't do nothing. And that nigga had every talent. I don't think there was a talent he didn't have. The nigga could dance, the nigga could do comedy, the nigga could sing, the nigga could play sports, nigga could act. God damn. He was a super Negro. Like he's like a Jewish man's dream. Like he a product and a half. You make money every which way from this dude.
Yes. Yep.
Dude, hella talented, man.
There's nothing that he couldn't do.
But the word on the street is he down bad right now. Because he trusted in the enemy, man. If it is to be believed, because we know how Esau be doing with a psyop side. So that's if the information that we're seeing is accurate. I don't fucking know, because you know what Esau, like, the man could be sitting up somewhere getting his, you know, getting you know, some gal doing up, you know. We don't know until we see the guy, and even then you might not have to trust it. But taking it face value, he down bad right now, man, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, we're talking about the nature of the beast earlier, right? We're talking about Esau, right? You know what he's like, what his characteristics are like, right? And this is what I mean, when you pick a child that is bitten by a serpent, we know what a serpent does, man. You can't play around with snakes, man. That's stupid. You know, but a charmer, you know, play the pipe and the snake there sitting in the, you know, wiggling and moving and shit, right?
When you get bit,
but when you get bit, like, you should have known better than to play with the snake.
Man ain't going to your funeral, man. Man ain't got time for that.
Of all the beasts to pick, you pick the serpent to play around with? No, you don't play around with snakes, man. They're poisonous animals, man. Put your ass to death. You know? And this is how Esau is. You don't fuck around with Esau, man. You have to know that he's a serpent. He's gonna bite you at some point. He might play around with you for a little bit, you know, he's doing the dancing moves, thinking it's all cool and shit, right? But eventually he plans to fucking bite you in your ass, man.
And the so-called Native American Indians are living proof of that.
Yep.
Because it didn't matter whether they were friendly or foe. In the end, they all got.
Yep.
Didn't matter whether they were hostile or whether they joined hand in hand. Esau dealt with all of them the same way.
But I say, but if you treated him like you're supposed to treat him, then this wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, like them crazy ass Asherites that's in the Amazon, like.
Yeah.
They just said, fuck this, man. We're retreating from civilization, man.
You see anyone like that, kill them.
Man said, fuck clothes. Man said, fuck technology. Man said, fuck all that, man. We got it. Listen, we got it. How far does this jungle go? We gonna go until we don't see nobody.
The outback.
Anyhow, we see anyone that even look like they got 2 arms and 2 legs. It's peak.
Hey, but this is what the scriptures is teaching, man. It's giving you knowledge here, man. So you know how to deal with this devil, man. To not trust him, because he's only looking to supplant you, man. He's only looking to do you wrong. You know? And this is like important knowledge, man.
Because that chip, even though they look at it as salvation, is subjugation.
It's the opposite to that.
It's destruction. It's subdue you. It's the mark of the beast.
Because he's trying to get you to transgress against the Heavenly Father. And because he knows what the destruction, the judgment is for that. He knows that. And he's trying to get you to transgress against the Lord, man. To take that. Especially our people. Like, he can give a shit, but to our people, it's a great victory for him, man. To have us destroyed.
We'll serve him.
Because that's his point. That's his point. He wants us destroyed as a people. This is gone.
Once you're in slavery.
Right? And he figures that he's most high did it for him, man. Because if he can get everyone to take the MOTB, we can all be destroyed, innit?
But really,
guess what?
He wants us in perpetual slavery. Yeah, that's what it is. The goal, yeah. He thinks he got the power. He wants Jake in perpetual. That's what the chip represents. Servitude, forever. That you belong to him. You don't belong to the Most High no more. That's their mindset. You know, they've delivered up to him for the destruction, whether he chooses to kill you or not. But the Most High gonna kill you anyway, and him.
Yep.
Yeah, I got something now.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the village, in the secret places. Doeth he murder the innocent, and his eyes are...
Philip Schofield, man. Yeah. That's Philip Schofield, man.
Yeah, so it reads, it says, his eyes are privately set against the poor.
Right, they're always set against the people, but these are the same people that claim they love the poor and they want to save the poor.
Yeah, so it reads, he lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den, and he lieth in wait to catch the poor, and he doeth catch the poor when he draweth him to his net.
That's why he does it from behind the scenes, man. All these plans and plots are done from behind the scenes. They're not done in the open. I mean, things come out in the open, but really the true intention is behind the scenes, man. You don't understand what it is for.
Yeah, they're talking that with that forked tongue. So with like when you got that agenda 2030, you really have to break that down with intelligence to understand what they're really saying. Like when the man says you will own nothing, Man are just like
The agenda's not to save the planet.
they made it sound nice. Like, oh, but really, they mean what they say. You won't own nothing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that they won't own nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why even the communist thing, right? Communism was set up by, you see, capitalism, communism, right? Was just a way for Esau, Edom. There are two different ways for Esau to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because communism is supposed to be sharing all the resources among everyone. It's just not reality because you can't really do that. But that's what they claimed. But the Bolsheviks introduced communism. Where did the Bolsheviks come from? They were so-called Jews from America. Karl Marx was a so-called Jew as well, right? Now communism sounds good because it's, and socialism, oh well, we're gonna share everything out between them. But there's a saying in communism, everybody's equal. It's just that some people are more equal than others.
Right.
And that's what ends up happening. What happens is the government take control of all the resources, and therefore the people who control the government control the resources, and they get what they want, and you get your fair share. But there's always going to be a scarcity. And the scarcity will justify why you ain't got a lot. There's a saying that if the communists took over the Sahara Desert, there'll be a shortage of sand. Because it was just another way of manipulating people. Then they had capitalism on the other side, which is supposed to be free market and anyone can make it, but it literally ends up doing the same thing. It ends up always being that the resources get brought all the way to the top, and everyone at the bottom is getting barely anything. But they had everyone fighting between these two ideologies, when in essence they both had a banking system and was both pretty much run for the benefit of the few. You understand? So you see how this devil operates.
So feudalism.
Feudalism. So now they got communism, and socialism, and now they got capitalism, and they're gonna bring it all together into one thing where they just own everything. The government owns all the resources. You own nothing. You got your chip and you get what you're given. And if you don't like it, there's nothing you can do about it.
Totalitarian, isn't it?
Pure totalitarianism.
It's like you got these two parties, like all of these different parties that people are under. That's just to create this false sense of the people have a sense of power and and rights to vote.
Options.
But in all reality, they're all slaves working under the same system. That's the reality.
The two-headed bird.
Same body. Yep.
One ass. Shitting on everyone.
You finished with that?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Okay.
Actually, no, I got some more. Just one more.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Salaki.
What's our linking number?
This is
Imagine sometime around from now to.
Yeah, this is Psalms 10 and verse 10. It says, no, verse 11. He hath said in his heart, the Most High forgotten, and he hideth his face, and he will never see it.
Esau don't believe that really and truly that he gonna get what's coming to him, man. So that's why he's going headstrong into this thing, and you, Jake, are gonna fall for it.
It's gonna be beautiful.
That's why we're teaching you from the get-go. Don't take. We're letting you. That's why we're being very clear. We're not being
mixing our words.
Confused. Yeah, we're not spreading confusion. Oh, it could be this, could be that. Look, we're very
clear.
We're being very clear and precise, so that when it happens, there's no doubt or no confusion. We're telling you that the marker. We're not saying the MOTB is the or the CBDC. When we talk about the CBDCs, we always make it clear it's going to be on the chip. If you got a CBDC account, that doesn't mean you got the marker. It's when they implant the chip in you, and then all those systems are going to be run through the chip. So we're being very specific here.
Not a tattoo.
Yeah, it's not a tattoo.
Because someone's still running out with that idea. But yeah, you make it very clear what it is, man. Because at the point when it starts happening, people are gonna start thinking, man.
And that's why they're trying to do this internal like they're pushing this thing. And I see the other day that they're talking about they can diagnose cancer through the bloodstream. Because that's how they're gonna sell all this stuff. Oh yeah, you can take this chip, and then you can get this other thing as well, where it's gonna be a complete healthcare, so you won't even have to come in. Like it'll monitor your blood work and all that, and automatically order the healthcare that you need to your home. That kind of stuff.
They're rid of a bunch of benefits that it could do.
Yeah.
Right, but
first
never mentioned what the nefarious things it could do too, right?
Yeah,
and they'll tell, oh, you skin a little needle,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you give blood though, right?
Well, now
Or whatever.
people are not, because guess what? They push the tattoos on everyone.
Yeah,
And
everyone's
if you
doing
ever
it.
notice that whenever you see a video of the Chiz app, it's always a tattoo. It's not a nurse. It's always a tattoo
Tattooist,
artist.
yeah.
That's because they're actually qualified to do piercings and implants. So there's no
Surgical
wonder.
stuff, yeah.
Think of it. There's no wonder why tattoos has been
Big
pushed
thing.
so heavily, because it's been acclimatizing the people. Because tattoos is a form of blood. It's a mixture. And it's in man are gonna get.
Sigil magic.
Don't start getting to the, you man that's not ready for this stuff. Don't be trying to get into it.
You
I
say
don't want to hear
sigil
no one
magic,
getting bugged out. But it's a form of sigil magic mixed with blood magic. Because when you do a tattoo, you have to shed blood. So you're sealing the writing in blood. But the MOTB is also part of that. It's sigil, because the sigil is now digital. They're going to be inside of you, and it's also blood.
It bears the number of the beast.
Because the number, everything, there's writing in. Don't forget the chip has got writing in there.
yeah.
So they put in something written
Grapho.
inside you.
Grapho.
Grapho. But at the same time, it pierces you and sheds blood. So it's a blood covenant. So it's the next step on to a tattoo. Yeah? But don't start looking up blood magic and all that, because you get me, I'm not gonna be responsible when you start bugging out and then next thing you know, you know, you gotta be on a certain level to deal with them things without getting bugged out.
But even the, you know, Esau Promotion Society, all this body, this morphology or whatever, you know, man are putting fucking humps in the eyebrows and
Lipo.
plastic surgery and stuff
Yeah,
like
plastic
this.
surgery,
They've made this idea of putting things inside your body normal, you know, normalizing it, you know. And you got people out there with them C-hips inside them already.
Yeah.
You know, you know, in Scandinavia and more places like that, right? Because they're heavy into their tech or whatever, right? And that's all you gotta, you know, it's only, you know, it's an amount of time until that's all, you know, pushed out to the rest of the world, man. You know, and because there's precedents already, and a bunch of people done this and done that and whatever, you're gonna feel like, oh, it's nothing bad about this. It's just, you know, it's just a C-hip.
Don't listen to them Hebrew Israelites. They're misogynists.
They're paranoid.
They're misogynists. This new money's not racist. Remember, the Spike Lee had the advert. The new money is not racist.
Idiot, man.
Remember that? Go look it up on YouTube. Spike Lee new money advert, and they were promoting digital money because it's not racist. It's not like the old money.
It's not blood money.
When the digital money is being made by the same people that made the old money. You fucking more. But Jake be simple, man. And fuck Spike Lee. Anyway, going on.
Because
Yeah, I got something as well.
That old money is racist. Get the chip. The chip is inclusive. Yeah. For everybody. We're all equal. Yeah, go on.
It's the book of Revelation 13 and 16. And
Spanking though,
and he
spanking.
covers all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their forehead, and that and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
Alright, so that's going to be the prerequisite for you to get access to things, man. Yeah, you're going to have this thing inserted into your flesh. You go into the word mark, it goes into all of that, man. Cuttings, carved in, right? It goes into all that. So all this talk about, all this other bullshit, these other camps talking about, is just that bullshit. Yeah, they're not actually trying to deal with the words or the prophecy or nothing, man. They're just making up shit.
Yeah, because they work for them, and that's what it is. Them you know, if you ever notice ICPK and IUIC, they always have the same breakdown and the same rebuttals because they're really being fed it by someone else. That's my belief. Someone is feeding them what they need to be saying to counteract what we're saying. It's not very good because, again, like them man, like uneducated, innit? Like they're just typical uneducated Negroes. They don't know what anything means, like embargo.
And they, you know, they're stargazing that.
But we're bums, but we understand. But it's funny because we're bums, but we actually look up the meaning of words. These dudes obviously don't. They're the real bums because they ain't got Google and nothing. Like it's peak for them. Them man are moving like my brothers in Amazon with the leaf skirts and that. But like they're getting fed that. They're being fed that, man. And that's why they're now mentioning the CBDCs. And then the man had the nerve. He could have got the amount of people that bring out the information on CBDC. Like, what's that gal's name? Fitz. You got
Austin Fitz.
You got Zhang. You Austin Fitz. You got Zhang. That other woman. You got Brez, all kind of brothers that bring out information. And then man got a batty boy breaking it down in the video and saying, "Excuse me, cause the guy is fruity, bro." They literally could have went on flipping BitChute, yeah, and found like so many other people breaking down the CBDC, and notice they chose to use a straight up flaming mole. Did you notice that?
Promoting LGBT.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it.
I'm not saying they're promoting LGBT. I'm just saying, yeah, it's funny to me. That shows to me that was all fed to them. Because if I was gonna, when we're showing our videos, yeah, and we're like when we do the algo,
we got options.
We got options of like who we can
show up. You know,
and I never seen this guy before. Some random.
They had to find half of that.
LGBT don breaking down the CBDC, like, and then you had to apologize for it. Why? Why didn't you just go get someone who's not LGBT representative? Like why? Like, it didn't make no sense to me. Like, I didn't think it makes sense. But yeah, they've been fed the foolishness, man. But now they have to talk about the CBDC when they didn't want to talk about these things before.
They could avoid it before.
But now they got to, because it's
now
getting
too
much. Go
on. He had the wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636.
Yeah, which is also the core of their universal barcode system. Yep. And it's built into the QR codes, because remember the QR codes is just another way of representing a barcode.
Yep.
That's why we told you, like, wherever you see a QR code, a chip can be used in this place. Like when they did the passports, when they brought up that the passport thing, they were talking about the QR codes. If you read the information, it says this can be produced in QR code or RFID. Because that information can be easily placed on an RFID and used. And where you just near field, you know, it's the same information, you can just pick it up, yeah? Because you could turn anything into a QR. You know what I mean? It works.
Yeah, I got a precept just to go back to what you were saying about how through this technology they can, you know, cure cancer through the bloodstream, right?
Well, no, they were saying that they could detect.
They could detect.
And then so they find it early, and it's being developed by Oxford University.
Which could save your life.
Yeah. Just another excuse that they're gonna invent a way to make it mobile.
Yeah, this is Revelations 13 and 14. And it reads, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and didn't live.
Yeah, man.
God.
They wanna promote that wicked way of life, man. And they're saying they're being inclusive, but they're not, because they don't wanna accept our way of life. They want their demonic way of life to be the one way, which is the way of error, the way of Satan. Do as thou wilt, which really translates to do as the elites want, because they have the power, because they believe that might is right. So once they have the power, they could do whatever they want with you. There is no right or wrong. There's only what they say.
What you're capable of doing.
And if they could do it and get away with it, they can do it and make it right. And that's what these people don't understand. People are devils, man. That's why Philip Schofield was penetrating them boys, man. The devils.
Yeah, so back in Sirach 12 and verse 15, right? It says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaking sweetly with his lips. So we give you all the bullshit, man. He tell you what you want to hear. He want to make you believe, right? Believe in him.
To set you up. I'm trying to think of which movie it was. It was either Surrogate or Gamer. And in one of the films, there was the black guy that was leading the rebellion. And then towards the end of the film, they found out that the leader was actually working for working for the enemy anyway. And they all just, the man them just got wiped out. Because the whole time, the guy that was leading the rebellion was one of them.
Ultimate betrayal.
But that's how they do. That's why you're gonna have guys that protect, like Andrew Tate and all these guys that's claiming to be rebellious, but they're really working for them, man.
Well, it's like these guys infiltrated these churches, these groups, right? And make them do certain things to question, you know, bring you know, that the movement into question and things like that.
Yeah, COINTELPRO and that, yep.
Right? Even though I think it was Pastor Randall that was doing it, might be Pastor Bar, was about the spies, right? Because you're gonna get them.
Yep.
You've had them.
Yep.
And you're gonna get them, you know. And in this time more than ever, you know, because we're getting close to that time, man, where, you know, people are gonna betray each other and all kinds of shit, man. So when all this hits the fan, man, they expect that to happen. That's why we gotta be alert, be vigilant, be circumspect in our surroundings, man. You know, because you never know what's gonna fucking happen. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Esau does that. Like this guy Andrew Tate, man. Everyone kind of forgot about him. He's got the AI robot running his Twitter. Then all of a sudden he's doing an interview with BBC and like, and they send a D-list interviewer to get slain and everything. It's just like, yeah, I mean, like, and then they ban it. They do the interview, then they ban it, then he releases it. It's like, oh, it's just, come on, man. You believe all this shit, man? It's all just fucking theater, man. So just listen to the real men of the Lord and don't follow Nate and ICPK, because they've obviously been compromised, man.
And he's speaking sweetly with his lips, but in his heart, in his mind, he imagined if I had to throw thee into a pit.
Right, so he says in the society he's inclusive, that they're always against racism, say no to racism and all this stuff. That's that enemy speaking sweetly. But in his heart, it's like he wants to chip you. He wants to put you in slavery. He wants you in perpetual slavery. Remember you niggas celebrating Meghan Markle getting banged by Prince Harry.
Like that meant something.
Like that meant something. And then they started this whole thing about racism in the royal family and all that. What did you think, man? And fuck Meghan Markle anyway. She's a slut, man. You know, if I was part of the royal family, I'll be fucking pissed as well. Probably would have fist him up, bringing this slut around here, man. This divorcee that's been bust, this B-rate actress, and you bringing him up in the establishment, man. But it was all orchestrated anyway, psychological operations. Because now they replayed the whole Diana trauma, using her and all that. It's all orchestrated, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas were over here celebrating, like, oh, there's a black person in the royal family. Huh?
She's not really black.
She's not really black, first of all. And secondly, that meant nothing for you, because what did she do for you? What did she do for you, so-called? The first opportunity she got, according to the script, she in America now. And she ain't even doing nothing for the Negroes in America.
Right.
So what did it matter? Because she got bent over and split down the middle by Prince Harry. Like, that was some kind of achievement. Let me tell you something, man. So-called black women been bent over and split open by these crackers for the longest.
Well, that's it, man. Black women are just bed wenches at this point now. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting praised for being bed wenches, man.
What's so great about that? Like, getting bent over and split open. Like, what's wrong with you, man? I'll be vexed if it was my family member. Like, what you doing? Joining in with these pedophiles, man. With these Satanists.
Sullying yourself.
Why would you want someone to marry into a family of Satanists and witches and warlocks? But that shows you how simple-minded you Negroes are, man.
That's a shame.
Jake got no standards anyway.
You think that, oh, we're part of something now.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, man.
Oh shit, man. So he will weep with his eyes, but if you find opportunity, and he's creating the opportunity. He's creating the opportunity, man, to get you in, man. He's creating the snares. The scripture speaks about the snares that he's planning, right? He's creating an opportunity, man, to get you, to get us, right? So he will not be, but if you find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, which he is obviously an orchestrator of adversity, he is Satan, which means adversity, right? You know, the adversary, okay? So he brings adversity. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, and that's what it is. He's gonna pretend to help you in that situation when that chaos comes.
And when they start shooting, and let me say something about you ghetto niggas, man. You see, they've used you niggas against yourselves. Right. You dumb fucking niggas. And I'm really on Esau's side, because you know Esau's kind of right. You niggas are filthy. You're disgusting creatures. And the worst thing about you niggas is, not only do your fake celebrities, showcase the worst part of you, you showcase the worst part of you for the world to see. You do the most stupidest shit, the most violent and dumb shit. And then you go on IG and go on TikTok, and not only will you record it, you tell everyone about it.
Boast.
Right? And what do you end up looking like to the world? Animals.
And that's why we become an infamy of the people.
You become infamy because of you niggas, because gang, like, listen. Like, and now the Albanians are doing it. And their elders are like, what the fuck are you niggas doing, man? Because they pick up nigger culture, so now they got to show everyone, and all the old school Albanian gangsters from Albania are like, what the fuck are these man doing? Why is this man rapping about selling drugs?
Dry snitch.
Fucking up.
Why is he doing this? Like, why are you making us look like this? We were moving in silence. Now you're showcasing your foolishness to the world. Being niggerized. Because a lot of them are niggas. Yeah? That's where they get that demonic, right? But then, so you niggas, like, you go on the YouTube, every gang interview, you're there to be interviewed. Yeah, man, you know, man, we got the strap, man. Anybody come around here, man. Niggas in the UK do the same thing. No, fam, you get me, man. Come round here, fam, man. I got the heat, you get me. Oh, blah, blah, the blicky, blah, 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 blah. And then, so, innit, you're happy to showcase yourself in the most demonic and animalistic way for the world to see on TV and on the social media. Don't you know that you're building a case for why, and if anything happens, you should just be wiped out indiscriminately, and everyone will be like,
no problem.
I don't want these niggas around. I feel unsafe. They're making me feel unsafe. Niggas running up in Selfridges, man are trying to buy a Louis Vuitton bag, and you niggas in the aisle shanking each other up with Rambo knives.
Because they already don't like us already.
They already don't fucking like you niggas. Yeah. And so even this other one now, this orchestrated event with this Mizzy character. Don't you know that's just making, they pick the most blackest, most annoying nigga you can find, yeah? Ignorant black nigga, which he's an actor, and now they've taken down his page. But he's obviously an agent or a useful idiot, one of the two, right? And they're showcasing this guy running up in crackers' houses, stealing dogs from crackers, being arrested multiple times, and the police not really doing anything. And even him saying, yeah, the British laws are weak. Bro, why would you say that? You're inviting more fuckery on yourself. Yeah? And don't you know, you go on the comment board, crackers are pissed. Crackers are looking at that thinking, you see in the comment boards, oh, it's always a particular demographic. You niggas are up in Chicago in the supermarket doing madness. You're in the airport having fucking WWE Battle Royale brawls. All that shit, yeah, that you're doing, Esau's highlighting that so that, you know what, yeah, when all hell breaks loose, you see them man from that particular area, we're just gonna go in there and shoot them now, and no one's gonna care. Everyone's gonna look, do whatever you got to do, so everything's on top. So when they come in and indiscriminately shoot anyone that looks like you now, it's just like, yeah, well, they're all gangsters, isn't it? They're all, fuck it.
And this is the thing, they got Jake doing so much messed up shit, right? Yeah, it's things that most people can agree with, right? It's messed up, right? That's why they can push certain, like you said, the laws this week, right? Everyone's gonna agree now that tougher laws should be put in place.
Tougher law, tougher cyber.
Because who wants a gremlin like that running up in their house? Nobody.
Oh, I wish he would, man.
You know?
That nigga, be dead.
Yeah. But now they got the excuse to run the harsher laws now.
And that's why they put him on Piers Morgan, and now he's running through all the podcasts and everyone's interviewing him, when really what should happen is he just hold the beating, innit?
Shunned from society.
He just hold the beating and no one talk about him no more. So that there's no value. They just hold the public beating. That's it. That's all that needed to happen. Man, hold the public beating, a lashing, and then let's not talk about him no more. He wouldn't be going back out there doing no more pranks if he held some bull.
Because he's got away with it.
But because he has, because they're letting him get away with it.
There's no punishment.
So because they want, so you niggas are playing into that hand. All you niggas that go online and you have these you're having fights in the street and you're jumping over in McDonald's, beating people up over ketchup and shit like that and acting like animals. Esau takes all of that and he makes sure his people see it. And they're like, look at these niggas, man. These niggas are fucking animals, man. Even though it's not all, might as well be.
Painting that brush.
And it's like, when Ezekiel 21:9 comes down the pipeline, they're going to be justified in wiping you niggas out.
This is the book of Ezekiel 21:9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore throtter. It is furbished that it may greater. Should we then make mirth?
It ain't gonna be no joke. But Jake wanna make jokes and they wanna party and they think it's funny when they're showing themselves in this light. They have no shame. Jake has no shame.
Yeah, they don't.
Jake ain't got no shame, man. They ain't gonna care about their family. They don't care about how it makes their mother look, their father look, man. Nope. Like the generate, like, I don't know, but when I was growing up, man, you didn't want to be known for certain things. You didn't really want to be known to be a thief, lad.
Yeah.
Like, and your mom's like, oh, my son's a thief, or your dad's like, my son's a thief, or my son's out there doing this and doing that. You wouldn't want, if you're gonna do that shit, niggas back in the day used to do that shit on the low. They don't want nobody to know. Now they want everybody to know. There's no shame. They got no shame. They just, yeah, yeah, that's me.
And this is a product of Esau society, though.
Product of Esau, man. And it
Esau
begins
likes
with them
to
celebrities.
wickedness,
Because them celebrities do all madness and always broadcasting it, man.
God.
And then now Jake think it's cool to
Be like that.
do animalistic shit, yeah? And then straight away post it up on the internet. Internet. Everything gets posted on the internet. No shame.
Yeah, I got something for you, brother.
Go on.
This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 6. I will send him, I'll start with verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. And I will send them against an hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath. Will I give them a charge to take the spoil, and to take the prey, and to tread them like the mire of the streets.
Tread them like they're gonna stomp you Negroes out, man. Certain areas like your little ghetto ends that you live in, man, like your man ain't even gonna give you the mark. They're just gonna kill you. Fuck the mark, like they're just gonna come in there and put bullets in niggas, man. And everyone's gonna be like, yeah, them niggas are unruly. You know, it's Mizzy in them, man. Just get rid of them. And I agree. Cause I don't like you wild niggas either, man. You know what I mean? I'm a family man, man. I can't bring my family around anywhere where you niggas are anyway. You niggas disgust me. I get around you niggas and I'm on edge. I got anxiety. You know, I'm holding my phone because the niggas might run past and try to jack my phone and I can't run no more. So it's peak. Like when you were younger, like you was like, yo, if a motherfucker was on a bike and he grabbed my phone, you could do the quick acceleration. But now, if a man ran past and took my phone out of my hand, it's peak. Like, I'm done. I'm done. Like I'm just gonna be watching my phone. So when you get in them ends, you like literally like you gotta look like you ready to do something and grip your phone tight just in case that a nigga acts stupid. You know what I mean? Like, because you niggas are animals, man. It's true.
Yeah, you have no part in society.
Lord, you do need to get put down. And it's sad to say, but hey, you know.
You reap what you sow, bro, did it? You know?
What do you expect? And then when you get profiled, you get all upset. But bro, look how you
advertise yourself.
You advertise yourself to the world, and you're proud to do that. Yeah, man. Yeah, fam. Listen. Our ends is the rough. You're on the internet competing. Whose area is the worst?
Who does that?
What the fuck, man? No, man, no, my area is more rough than, no, my area, we commit more murder than you. No, my area, we got the most murders, we kill the most, we do this, like, we do that. No, my area is like, bro, you know you're bragging about who's got the lowest house prices, bro.
Basically, yeah.
You dickheads, man. You stupid fucks, man.
Race to the bottom, innit?
What is wrong with you, man? Like, retarded ass niggas, man. And then Esau's like, just, yeah. Okay, cool. Just gonna wipe them niggas. What area is that again? Wipe that out.
Let's go.
Yeah, somewhere. Hey, down south, South London.
Yeah, Croydon, them
What Croydon and just fucking carpet bomb that, man. You don't want them niggas in the New World Order. Go on.
But you know what? It's funny, right? Because I was reading an article years ago. It was something that came out years ago, and they said that they're gonna classify these different gangs as terrorists.
Yeah, they are.
They are terrorizing
everyone.
You know? Might not be no Mujahideen dudes, but but they're terrorizing everybody, blood. You know, in the ends, man, just unruly, blood.
They are, man.
It's contemptless. The Lord of my son has every tree, and he has given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer.
Right, the slayer is Esau, and Esau is preparing to restore order with extreme prejudice. Oh, the laws in the UK are weak. Yeah, well, guess what? When they go into martial law, the law ain't gonna be weak. You watch the movie, if you watch the movie Judge Dredd, I never broke the law. I am the law. Yeah, and they show you about the dreads, how it came about, right? How did the judges come about? Because there was too much crime, everything was out of order, and the justice system is long, arresting people. So the man said, listen, we're gonna cut all that short, we're gonna make the judges, and you're gonna be judge, jury, and executioner. So you see, man, like crime, sentence, death, boom. That's it. No lawyer, no fucking
trial,
all that BLM, Black Lives Matter protest, dead. Oh, you're protesting as well? Boom. You get rid of that guy. And that's how they're gonna be. They're gonna come with extreme prejudice, man, on a lot of you ghettos.
And that's why they create all of these different groups to see who's who, and then eventually, okay, we know what he stands and what he's doing.
Yeah, they keep tabs, man.
God.
You know, and that's what martial law is about, man. You know, people, they can enforce whatever action they deem necessary, man.
Cordon and control. And they're preparing for that. That's what they did in Iraq. They cordon off areas, and then you sweep the area and neutralize. And they're gonna neutralize you. They're gonna neutralize your granny. They're gonna neutralize the children, because the children are gangsters too.
Well, they got you up in the flats and shit. easy to
Yeah,
work with.
Flats is gonna get bust up. Grenfell.
Easy to work with, man.
Go on up.
Just say this.
Oh, that's it?
I'm continue. Cry and hour, son of man, for it shall be upon my people. It shall be upon all the princes of Israel. Terrors by reason of the sword shall be upon my people.
Yeah, them gunshots, them troops. They're gonna start sweeping out areas, man. And when they come true, like I said, they're not gonna be trying to identify nobody. They're gonna have orders. Anyone in that area is a shoot to kill.
Target.
It's a target. We're just gonna wipe these niggas out. They ain't right. We ain't got time to figure out who's who. Yeah, you're all dressed the same anyway. Just kick them niggas out. Everyone's got do-rags and even niggas that ain't gangster dressed gangster, man. Just get rid of them. And that's how it's gonna be, man. The time of Jacob's trouble. Yeah, and they're setting you niggas up for it, man. Right? Got you niggas on your #1 TV programs are all proliferating your danger. Power. Frank, what is it called? Snowfall, Black Mafia Family. You niggas don't see what Esau's doing?
He's building the case.
He's building a case. It's like, that's what these niggas are good for. And you
idolize.
niggas love it.
Yeah,
oh, power. Oh, ghost. Ghost. What's so great about these niggas that sell drugs and kill each other?
Betray each other.
And betray each other. Oh, yeah, it's great. Oh, I love that character. Really?
It's drama, and niggas like drama, man.
Them martial law troops love them characters too.
Yeah.
And they're showing you that his son is growing up just like the father. So what are they inadvertently saying? Listen, just fucking get rid of all these niggas, man. You know? But you niggas think it's cool, innit? Yeah, power. Yeah. Franklin Saint, he's a G. Okay.
Alright. Yeah, I got a precept, brother.
Go on.
Yeah, this is Ezekiel 35 and verse 6.
At least the mafia was smart enough that they kept their shit on the low. Right? And it weren't until the so-called Jewish mafia were getting a little bit too much spotlight that they said, nah, we can't let them know that the so-called Jewish mafia is the one running things. So then that's when they used the Hollywood to put the spotlight on the Italian mafia, because the mafia that was really the most powerful mafia, obviously outside of the general government and bankers, the mafia that was actually the most powerful mafia is the Jewish mafia. That's the actual, they were more powerful than the Italian mafia. Like, they were the real dons that were really doing a lot of that crime, organizing a lot of it. So what they did was they used the movies to put the spotlight on the Italian mafia. So when everyone thinks of organized crime, what do they automatically think about? They think about the Italian mafia. But the Italian mafia, they weren't really the big guys. The Sopranos and The Godfather.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Who runs Hollywood again? So they set that up. We're gonna blame all organized crime, and anyone thinks of organized crime, it's a psychological operation. Because we make all these movies and make it infamous, everyone thinks that organized crime, Italian mafia. No one thinks actually the Jewish mafia, they were the most powerful mafia. That's
not even really spoken of.
They don't talk about it. Even the Russian mafia, they're all Jews.
Because generically in mafia, you just think it's Italian, that's it. You don't think of nothing else really.
In the movies, they always show the Russian mafia as blonde, but they're not. The Russian mafia are all so-called Jews. But obviously, because they control Hollywood, they don't wanna show themselves in that particular light. Yeah.
But
So
no, they show the cartel, the Maicos.
Mexico cartel, yeah, the organized crime cartel. They don't talk about the so-called Jewish mafia. You know. So Esau's very smart about how he portrays himself. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to, because I know this is talking about how the Lord is gonna prepare Esau into blood, but it says that he I'll read it.
That's not hated blood, yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't hated blood, so he's gonna. I might as well just read it. It says, and shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and he did that before with the natives and you know, as well as Jake as well back in a couple of centuries ago. But that same spirit is gonna come back,
and they can't wait.
And they can't wait.
The reason is because there is a lot of situations now, like George Floyd. The reality of the George Floyd situation was that was a setup here, and then police was dealing with a fucking crackhead. They didn't fucking do nothing wrong. Listen, let me tell you something for free. If he was in Jamaica or any black country, you don't want to see what they would have done to him. Like when they talk, listen, bro. Like the reality is that they pick these situations, and then the crackers are looking at it like, this guy's a fucking criminal. Like, why are we fucking like fuck this nigga? Like, but then we have to now hold back because of this. So it's almost like they're looking at it like the black criminals are being protected.
Right.
So they're getting angry. They're like, hold on, why are we? So the cracker in America is feeling frustrated that niggas are always seem to be getting away with shit because they pull in the race card. They always pull in the race card. Yeah, but if a white person does it, So what do you think? How do you think they're gonna feel when they get the opportunity to really start clapping on you niggas, man? They wanna clap on you niggas, man. Mizzy and them niggas, they wanna clap. They wanna know, fuck these niggas, man.
And to a degree, they
feel
should think
repressed.
like that. They should, yeah.
They feel repressed, like they can't say nothing because if I criticize this person, they're gonna say because I'm black, because he's black, you know. So that these crackers are hurt, man. So they're gonna be even more willing when the time comes to go into them ghettos and clean it up. So you niggas you better get the Lord on your side. Yeah, go on, bro. Oh, that was it on that anyway. Well, someone was reading something before that.
I was reading.
Okay, yeah. These crackers, like they like to make movies, the media, to paint Jake as much as they can in a criminalized fashion, and that does two things. Not only does it manipulate the psyche of the Israelite children to think that that's the way that they should go, but it also puts an image in the mind of other people about you. Like for instance, when I was in uni, man, it was funny as fuck. There's one guy come over from Eastern Europe or one of them places, and we would chill, and we went to the Matthew Bolton College, which is next to the uni, which Matthew Bolton was a plantation owner, by the way. Anyway, and they built a brand new college in Birmingham and named it after him. And when we went in there, he was like, hey, you know, it's funny, huh? This place, it looks like the building is like an airport, but inside is like a prison. And the reason he said that, because it was nothing but niggas and Elamites in there. But you might think he said it genuinely, because his interaction or his knowledge of so-called black people is based upon the TV. And if you watch the TV and you watch these TV programs, you go on YouTube, and what is the prevailing image that is there about you niggas and your culture and what you are? Criminals. You have a very criminal-minded image.
Yeah, it's a bad what is it?
50 Cent.
Relations?
50 Cent. Yeah, Dr. Dre. Niggas ain't doing that. They're playing sport, and even with Ja Morant, the niggas still trying to be gangster. Doing that. It's just true, man.
Yeah, this is yeah, it reads let me see. Yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, Revelations 12 verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation, strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of the brethren is cast down. And that's the point. The accuser of our brethren. Because the scripture says, woe unto him that put up a bottle before him. So they fed us this black culture narrative, and under that we became what we became, and with this culture, this image, we're looking terrible in the eyes of the people.
Looking like beasts. Looking animalistic, just starting arguments and getting wild over the simplest shit. Don't know how to act. Even if you're in a situation where you do feel like you're disrespected, like in some way, shape or form. My man was watching one video, this black woman, she had purple hair, and the child was looking at her, pointed, yeah. And then she started going wild, like, yeah, your child, you guys are racist, you're looking at me, your child said I look strange, is it because I'm black? And even I was like, no, it's because you got fucking purple hair, you fucking idiot. But she was making it into this big deal, and she's like, shouting, and the woman's like, look, calm down, like I'm with my kids. Yeah, and then she started fighting the woman and punching her up and that. And I'm thinking, like, look at this, man. What are you making our people look like? Like animals, man. How do you act like that in public? And then you realize that she's probably got a son that she's raising. So when you see him acting like that, you know where the hell he got it from. What'd you say, fam? Would you look? Hey, what man said? What, Robert? Next thing you know, the men are rolling around on the floor, and then people just think, yo, these people are unhinged, blood.
Crazy.
The nigga moment, man. I call it negativity. Yeah, it's negativity, man. It's not negativity, it's negativity. And then it's all recorded, and then now you might say, well, crackers do things like that. Yeah, but you live in their society. You're always gonna look worse doing it than they do. It's just the truth. Like if someone's doing something in their own home and you come into their house and you do it, you're gonna look worse than that guy. Cause you don't belong here, like you're doing the bullshit.
Anyway.
It's reality, man. I can't come up in my house and do madness. Like my child might get away with it, I still get, but then who are you, bleed? Don't even come from here, blood. What are you doing? It sticks out, doesn't it? Anyway, go on.
That was it?
Yep, that was it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, we got to link up with them brothers. Yeah, so look, man, that time is coming too. You got the MOTB we've spoke about, the mark of the beast, and we spoke about the time of Jacob's trouble, man. And a lot of you, Jake, are gonna be getting killed. And right now you can't see it again because you think that Esau wouldn't do massacres, Esau wouldn't commit genocide. That's against human rights. They believe in human rights. You're gonna find out something different because they will justify it.
Yeah, you're gonna see the true nature of this devil, man. You're gonna see him in all his glory.
All them millions upon hundreds of millions of bullets that DHS bought.
Yeah.
What do you think they bought them for?
Just like the nukes. What do you think the nukes are there for? They're gonna get used, man.
You know, them bullets are gonna get used 100%. Yeah.
That and the main ones, man. You know, just sitting there looking pretty, well, ugly, you know, whatever they're looking like.
This is the book of Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has but a short time.
Yeah, so they're gonna bring some more major events, which I'm feeling good for the next couple of months, man. Another major event coming down the pipeline, and it's all gonna bring things to the point where you never thought it could be like that. You never thought it could be
new norms.
New norms. Drones indiscriminately picking out heat signatures and clapping people off. Remember when we spoke about it, Jade Helm, way back then, Jade Helm 5, and they broke down, that woman came out, she broke down, look, Jade Helm was then practicing using AI in the suburban or the urban arena, so that instead the AI is deciding, like predicting movements of people and where to deploy troops and all that kind of stuff. They're going to be doing that. They're going to be drones flying up above. Niggas are going to be getting hit by mini missiles and drone fire. Hey.
Crazy, man.
If the Lord ain't with you, man, you're going to get caught out there, man. No doubt. No doubt. All right. So yeah, with that, we say call halal, and double honors to the apostles, the elders, a great millstone. Honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word, you know, sincerity and truth. And shalom to the brothers and sisters listening and learning and supporting the ministry. Shalom.
Shalom.
That's yours.